Oilers jersey, and everyone there in attendance went bananas with the Oilers jersey and started the chants.
Yeah. Here to get louder. One shot, one goal. Kind of feel bad for Jake Oettinger there. I don't think he's been poor in this series. Maybe he's had one rough game, but it's got to come the other way. That's what Alec and I talked about. You've got to push the pace the other way if you're Dallas. It's been too many games of inactivity where Stuart Skinner hasn't had to do 3 goals, 6 assists, 22 shots, 10 hits. So Connor McDavid been all over it here in this series. And this is a giant opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers to do something that they haven't done in a long time. I mean, this is McDavid and Draisaitl led Oilers along with Conn Smythe. They're going to mention him a few times. As this one sent in, Draisaitl's pass. This will get picked off. This will bounce crazily off the end glass right to Seguin, able to keep this one in onside. And now Stuart Skinner slowly around the end boards. There was one Dallas forechecker, but Edmonton able to get this one out. Cody this around the embankment as Jake Oettinger will stop it. It's now for Harley. Harley thought about it. Will still stick handle. Pass from 50. Jamie Benn off the backhand. Send this one down deep. Harley will activate to try to pry it loose. Logan Stankoven, Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn try to send it back to Stankoven. Now Harley, left side red line. Jamie Benn is watching. He picks up the puck, gives it back to Harley near the left dot. And Edmonton is doing a great job of collapsing into that middle. There's no space. And the steal. Opportunity now to boards up the chip and chase. They'll see if they can get it themselves. This is held across the left side line for a 10 penalty, and Dallas paid for it. Shots on goal have been revoked now, 2-1 for Dallas. As this is an opportunity now for Duchesne. Duchesne spin and turn, but he's against the goal. And we'll get a whistle with 12:46. Too many men?
There's something here. I think they're going to say too many men. It feels like if the notion is the last touch by Edmonton, they may be saying ice on that. We'll see who serves the penalty, but once again, the 4th time they're showing that goal, they cannot show that enough.
Well, here's the thing, Alec. We already know this, but I'll just certify this for anyone listening on the Twitch side or YouTube side or between us. Best player in the world, you just saw
front and center. Best player in the NHL as of right now. No question. Hands down. There's no debate about it. What you saw is what you get about it. Backhand, forehand, curling drag over to the top right corner as he roofs that. They're going to say Zach Hyman will be doing the too many man on the ice penalty.
Interesting. I guess that's what you have to have with the last side of the line change, because if had his choice, it wouldn't be Zach Hyman, but that's what they have right now. So Zach Hyman draws a penalty. Zach Hyman gets one. The 2 men served at 7:14. Dallas down 1-0. I'm going to wait till the end of the first period to ask you whether or not Dallas is in trouble. I'm going to give them this 12:40, and then we can have that conversation in the intermission. But I am at the point, Alec, and again, I mentioned this through Game 2 in our Edmonton. I'm in disbelief, honestly. I didn't think the series would even go this long. I thought the Stars would have wrapped it up. But the way that I've seen them play, and I'm talking about a little bit briefly in the open, there's just not enough activity for me. I don't know if they ran out of gas in between Vegas or Colorado, or Edmonton really is that good, but Dallas does not look like Dallas.
No, they don't. You're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's the 6th man that's coming onto the ice. One that was way out of position in the place that they are going for the line change. The officials saw that. That's where they signaled the penalty. The interesting here is that you send Hyman to the box over one of your lesser forwards. I thought that it would be Corey Perry in a sense.
That's what I would have had that choice, but maybe they can catch Hyman out of the box and then get someone else sleeping in behind the defense. Who knows? Edmonton can do that. That's an opportunity now for Heiskanen. This is almost as must score as it gets, and yes, I'm saying that with 12:35 left in the first. Dallas gets an opportunity handed them. You got to take advantage of it. Jason Robertson back across to Miro. Heiskanen slow up, make the pass. This is near the right side boards. Tyler Seguin now for Rope Hintz. Try to give back to Seguin. This is near the left side red line. It's loose. Edmonton, beautiful play. Get out of the zone. Miro Heiskanen send it the other way for Jamie Benn. They'll send it in deep. Sagan will take the bounce up the left side boards. Held in. See Ben. Miro Heiskanen now. Across the left side wall. This will be picked up for Robo. Robo now back to Miro. Give and go. Robertson still trying to find a lane. They've been kept to the outside. Heiskanen, Ripper. This is a save by the right pad of Skinner. And then sent down back across the Oilers logo. Opportunity now for Dallas. They find the entry, almost run into each other. Does Hintz and Ben. And this is an easy clear down the ice. Mike. We'll look to start again. They got to get their space oriented here. There's Dallas. Joe Pavelski going to take some power play time, and he's sitting on a fourth line as this game has started. They'll send a backhand. This one's lazy. It does fall to Harley, though. As it's Pavelski, cross pass, doesn't shoot, and takes enough of the space away to rob Stankoven for Skinner, but he couldn't get the look he wanted because the Edmonton Oilers defense was all over him.
I thought that Stankoven was running out of room to shoot that. I don't know if one timing that would have worked because that was wide over to the left side, and it went over to the right dot. I thought that Skinner may have got enough time to get back onto the left side just on time. Would it be one-timer or Stankoven delay?
I'm right there with you. That's exactly what I saw, too. As this is a face-off win. Stars, Duchesne. This one roofed high. Picked up now by Edmonton. They will put this back to neutral again. Dallas's first power play down to 10 seconds. Joe Pavelski, touchdown. Here is Stankoven off the back skate. We'll send it back to Harley. Nice move. One-timer. This one goes wide. Dallas's power play expires. They still have the puck, however. Stankoven back on the ice now. Now to Thomas. We'll send it toward the net with a flutterer. Dallas retrieves. This is near the left side dot. Cross pass. High slot. Skinner makes the save with the stick. It is 10:25 left to go in the first. We're almost halfway done with this first period in Game 6. Near the left side. It's a failed clear. It's right in front of Skinner, and Pavelski, I don't think, got all he wanted on it. He would never get a better chance than that. As this goes back around the end. Kind of wondering if Joe Pavelski just feels like he's snake bitten. Hyman rushed the other way. Backhand, would have stopped Skinner. Or would have stopped Roger, excuse me, as this goes near the right side of the pad. I thought that was going to be finished. It was going to be 2-0 Edmonton. And that might have saved the game at this point, and there's so much time left. To the left side, this is near the dot. Dallas trying to find it. It's stick chopped again. It's very loose. And Edmonton's defensive end, Dallas steals. They'll send it across. Stopped by Skinner with the stick. Dallas now still on this puck. I'm sensing desperation, which is good to see. But this Draisaitl. Draisaitl bounce pass will fall right to Evan Bouchard as Edmonton can take it left to right. McDavid's lines back out there. Draisaitl, Bouchard, fake the slapper. Draisaitl, one-timer inside the right side red line as this is now for Draisaitl. Send it back to Bouchard. Through leave for, this is still Bouchard. I thought he was going to send it to McDavid. And around the right side, Dylan Holloway getting some time on that line. He gets dispossessed of the puck. This one will get sent in. The shot board reads 5-1 for Dallas. But Connor McDavid's otherworldly goal on the power play as it's Draisaitl. This one as Draisaitl takes a tumble under the left side boards. He's slow to get out, but he looks none worse for wear. The Edmonton defense. Nice chip off the glass. Suter will have to start again. Holloway gets the steal. This is centered toward the right side circle. And now Edmonton will watch it and recollect in their own end as Kulak will make this pass across. This will be lofted in. See if Edmonton can get to it first. This is right near the player's bench. 8:10 left to go in the first. Outstretched pass from 70. This one will go down deep in the zone. Tanev will send it around. Dallas will go ahead and touch. As they'll make the outstretch. Mason Marchman. Matt Duchesne slows up. He gets pummeled near the left side. Gets back up. Still has the puck. Here's a centering feed to Donov. I know what he was going for there near the crease, but that pass got blocked. And now Edmonton use the glass. This will be a rolling puck the other way. Tanev will get to it first. We've had nonstop action here. Edmonton steals. McDavid, a 720. Yes, I said 720. As Bouchard Ripper. This one gets blocked. Spun around the end boards now. RNH. Man, McDavid looks like he is absolutely locked in. Hyman back around for 97. This one picked off by Pavelski. Yes, it was neat. Dallas gets the steal. Deshane's still out there. Sam Steele. This is a 1-on-2. Bouchard, last man back, stopped by Skinner and held.
Joe Pavelski and the Stars showing desperation. You know that's what they need here. Given their backs are against the wall, just one win when they're drilling 3 games series. Look at all mayhem is breaking loose. McLeod and Pavelski want each other. Ekholm wants to war with somebody on Dallas's end. And then you still have yet to have things sorted out. I don't know how many penalties are going to come out here with the Stars. They're showing your sense of desperation here. 6-1 shot advantage. Zach Hyman may have gotten away with an elbow.
Man, he absolutely slapped the taste out of Logan Stankelman's mouth with that one. I don't know how he stayed on his feet. And then the other way, he had a couple chances. Breakaway, that one stopped by Oettinger, and then just some massive hits the other way. Again, we mentioned it during the desperation. We have seen that from. I'm still in shock about some of the locked in. Again, I know the shots have been limited, but it's just how long is it going to take for Dallas to score that first goal for them? Because I feel like they need it. I'm not going to say they need it right now. In a better game for them so far, but the desperation, as you said, is already there. We can see it.
Oilers with the goal for them, the desperation showing up for Dallas, which is important. You need to have that sense of an urgency, and they're showing that right now in that first period with 6 shots right on Stuart Skinner. They've had good ones as well. They come for the low slot. You need to test them right at the low slot more and more. That's the high danger area for opposing goaltenders to stop.
Yeah, you have to do that. Again, we hadn't seen much of that from the Stars in the last few games with the run of 8 straight goals that we talked about in games 4 and games 5. Again, 6-1, 7-6 on the hit board for the Oilers, 7-4 on the faceoffs. For Dallas, the most important thing to note now is the power play goal. 1 of 1 is Edmonton. Again, Connor McDavid with his 5th of the post from Draisaitl and Bouchard, but Connor McDavid has a million apples in there, and that was scored 417, right in between the entire defense. Skinner 6 out of 6. Jake Oettinger pretty much 1 against. That's the only one he's faced so far. As Jackie Redmond's interviewing Peter DeBoer. Again, Alec made mention of this about a Game 6 record, but if it gets to Game 7, Peter DeBoer is undefeated. They got a long way to go to get there, though, because you got to finish the rest of this game and see if they can get out ahead. Jake Oettinger will do this once more. 6:55 left.
That was crazy pinball off Ryan McLeod off his leg. And Jamie Benn with 48 hits this postseason, which leads his team, being the captain that he is, leading by example, and he sets the tone physically as well.
No surprise, Jimmy Benn is offensively, but he's still an excellent centerman. He kind of has that second line locked down with whatever they rotate with, and he's able to be dependable. Him and Tyler Seguin have been very good. It's just whether or not the rest of the team is going to be able to pick up, because you can't just have Miro Heiskanen. Everyone else has to be able to join. As Corey Perry, now on opposite sides, he's on the Edmonton Oilers. This will be picked up now near the right side. Shots are 6-2. The one off the carom counts, but Jake Oettinger really hasn't had to do much, as this is sent around the end boards. Dallas still has it in their own end, trying to find a way out. They'll finally flip this one in and go ahead and take some changes, as Edmonton Oilers can start again on their own end. So Draisaitl will watch this pass go all the way back down. Picked up now, Marchment will flip it. This is a failed clearing attempt. Edmonton will steal, but last arriving player here for the Stars will flip this left side blue line as it's knocked away from Ropes. This is in between the center ice logo now as players are going near the bench. Stuart Skinner will put this around the end boards and full momentum. Try to flip this one. Opportunity CC couldn't get a handle on it though. One-handed And I think this is going to be a penalty against the Stars as they hook CC.
Ryan Suter, he's going to the box. And when you're hooking Cody Ceci, he's approaching it with speed. I felt that's caught in a pickle. It's either damned if you do and damned if you don't if you're hooking someone when you're breaking free.
Essentially, for the Edmonton Oilers, and we still have a little over 6 minutes left to go in the first. That's not good for Dallas.
They've been running out of penalty kill. You can only kill off so many penalties against Edmonton for so long before they're able to strike. You saw that happen in Game 5 when they scored the first 2 power play goals of this entire series, if you will. Dallas hasn't even scored a power play goal at all in this series. So they're the last one standing among teams that you score a power play goal in this series. And when you are held off the score sheet on a man advantage, you're not winning a lot of games with that.
No, you're not. Considering how good Edmonton's penalty kill has been, it's been historically good. Again, we talk about their power play last year and say, yeah, this was the best power play of all time. You might have to think about their penalty kill on the other side and say, historically, this might be one of the best NHL playoff penalty kills we've ever seen. It's quite a transformation.
Over 90% of penalties killed this postseason, and we have Kris Knoblauch and Paul Coffey leading the way along the penalty kill of the defense. That speaks to such a transformation. Plus, you keep around the power play quarterback by Bouchard and coached by Mark Stuart and everything up around. You have yourself a successful coaching staff.
Yeah, you do. Again, I think if you're the Oilers, regardless of what happens, whether or not they win the Stanley Cup or however it goes, I think you have these guys locked in at least for a few more years, because the way that we've seen this team play, it's only a few more wins. They're still one more away from the Cup final. That's a good camera shot on TNT, by the way. But this team, to me, is miles better than the one 2 years ago.
Of course, way better than his Evander Kane. He got hobbled up. He had to exit out. He went down the tunnel. You saw Brian Boucher absorbing some of the snow, but we have Kane down to the tunnel. I think he's going to get a checkup with the medical staff before they clear him, perhaps.
So Edmonton Oilers power play this postseason: 14 of 30, first 9 games. Next 7, 1 of 16. Now 5 and 6, 3 and 4. So they've run. So again, I honestly going to say it now. They score again, this might be a death sentence for Dallas. I didn't think I was going to use that already. I was going to wait to the end of the first, but Edmonton would already get their second power play because Dallas doesn't take many. But of late, they've been taking too many. And Edmonton's power play is still what they are. That Connor McDavid, puck entry. Sent around the end boards now for Draisaitl. Draisaitl now. This is a sauce pass. Bouchard. Nonetheless. They'll send it right back to Bouchard off the sauce. And 1:05 left to go in Edmonton's power play. They've had one entry, no shot just yet. As this one sent in. This is McDavid on the chase. He'll get the steal near the right side dot, and that one goes wide. And the whole side of the right net was man. As this will bounce back for Evan Bouchard. 45 seconds left to go on their second power play. It's
first period, they are cooking. 14th for Zach Hyman season. That was a snipe at the same location that McDavid scored his power play goal. And while this was not as flashy, but Hyman, he can really find the back of the net. He wasn't one of the candidates that we both had for scoring 50 goals in a season, let alone 64 combined goals between regular season and postseason. But Oilers team is clicking. Hyman, what a shot right over Oettinger's shoulder.
I'm going to say it. 3 on the shot board. 3 shots, 2 goals. Play finishes. McDavid, Hyman. It is Edmonton now, feeling like they're in the driver's seat. They have really owned this last stretch of games against Dallas, and they've made them look silly as this is in around the end boards. Picked up now off the backhand. I think Dallas needs to get a goal here. We got 1 as this one sent in. I thought we were getting a whistle. 3:38. There's a bunch of sound that sounded like whistles here as around the inboards. It might just be from the fans. This is a slap shot that goes up the outside of the cage from Duchesne. Picked up now for Suter. Suter is flipped down by Edmonton. Holloway lost it in between his skates. Suter will send it in. Is this now Cody Ceci? Ceci will get on this puck. It's picked off by Pavelski. Edmonton will sauce it out of their end. This will be will fire it in. Again, 8 shots on goal. Not a bad start there, but you've conceded 2 out of 3 shots. Pavelski off the pin and can't get up. As this is now near the right side, chance to just get progressively louder, and I promise you my TV's not even up that high. As this is set now for Pavelski. This is near the right side wall. The fourth line trying to do some damage, and absolutely wiped out was Johnston. The refs are going to reconvene. We'll see if there's going to be any calls here with 2:39 left.
Are they saying high sticking on this one? Johnny Bear is saying that at 15 he's going to go over. Brett Kulak is headed to the box.
Wow. Cool. Oh, wow. That's right in the throat there for Joe Pavelski.
Well, that has got to hurt. That has really got to hurt for Joe Pavelski, but he's going to tough it out. But they got some good looks. They're showing the Zach Hyman goal again. A stick whip from McDavid is what started it, right on Kris. And now Greg Kulak on the cross check to Joe Pavelski. This may be Dallas' time, and they're going to get on the board right back at it. This may be the best opportunity to score here, John.
Yes, it is, and I'm glad you said it that way, so I didn't have to, because that's what I'm thinking about. We just saw from McDavid on Tanev that reminded me of Pavel Datsyuk. As this is now wristed. This goes up and on a play.
Big Skinner has it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He got it with the glove hand. My apologies. I'm getting a little flustered here with 2:25 left to go in the first, only because I'm thinking about what the score myself. Zach Hyman on the power play from McDavid and Bouchard. Bouchard already has 2 points, and yes, he does have it in the trapper. That was a good save from the robo shot. Tanev now, they're showing him, and I know why, because a couple of those are, one is a penalty and one is a turnover. As this is Sagan, can't win the draw. Back down to Oettinger. Got it with the stick. We'll send it back around now. 2:50 left to go in this first. It's 2-0 Edmonton. A pair of power goals from Hyman and McDavid. Sent back around for Skinner. He almost runs into his own net, knocking off its moorings. But this kill this postseason, 93.5%, 26 consecutive. That is unbelievable. As Rope hits, sent in. He needs a big goal. Miro Heiskanen back to Robo now. Now back to Heiskanen. Heiskanen slows up, shoots off the end boards. Jamie Benn looking off the outside of the cage, sends it toward the crease. This picked up by Heiskanen in the high slot. Sagan. He likes shooting that short side chance. This right side extra pass eludes the stick of Ben. Sent back down the ice. Beautiful penalty. More time. 35 seconds left in the Dallas power play. They don't get many opportunities. It's 2-2 on both sides. If this doesn't get completed, full head of steam. Pavelski sauce. Trying to find a lane. Stankoven. This gets blocked. Picked up by Harley, high slot. Now Pavelski skates. Sent back into the neutral zone. Harley slows it down. Pavelski has to go back to wait for everybody to get on side. Harley. This will go off the left side for Johnston off the glass. Penalty has been killed again. As the 94.5% will go up even more. It sounds like a radio station dial. That's how good they are. As this one is sent around the end boards. And Harley started again. 10 shots. But Edmonton's got 2 goals. Knuckle puck from Duchesne, caught by Skinner, and we'll get some pushing and shoving.
The 2 penalty, the 2 power plays for Dallas on that last man advantage. The test. I get the Rope Hinsky over the left point for Jason Robertson, and Robertson shot that on a great look. The question is, if you're on the second chance and you're at the right circle and you have an open lane, why not go in the first way that you did on the shooting that instead of traffic at the middle of the slot?
Thank you.
The guy on this Dallas end should have shot that at the second one.
Thank you, Alec. I agree. I mean, that's just the things right now. You can't afford to try to be too cute. You need goals. You need chances. We've talked about it time and time again. Test Stuart Skinner. 11 shots on goal, but you're going to probably need to get this around 35-40 at the end of it. Hope that you can get a couple goals. You're already down 2. This one's sent towards Skinner. This is 2.5 left. Dallas will get one more draw.
Hey, why not go for the jugular and pull Oettinger for the last 2.5 seconds here? You get 6 on 5 because you need goal.
I'm not going to disagree with that either. I really don't see a way that Edmonton wins the draw and pulls it back and scores from 200 feet. You need something. You need an answer. The only thing, Alec, that you and I can say, and I'll bleed this into the first intermission unless something happens, but Dallas had shown a little bit of life. The problem for them, you commit 2 penalties, you get scored on both times, and that's the difference right now. As Joe Pavelski tries to win this draw, I guess we'll have to do it again. So we'll just bleed the interaction for a couple more seconds. It's Hintz, Pavelski, Robertson, off wings. This is won by McDavid. That ends the first. 3 shots on goal for Edmonton. Doesn't matter. 2 power plays, check marks on both. 2-0 after 1.
You fired it 12 times at Stuart Skinner if you're Dallas. He said that may be good, but you need to test him some more. You mentioned about, say, the northern end of 30 shots on goal mark. Close to 40 if you want to. You need to test him and some more. You test him to the best of his ability. Answered each and every one of these 12 shots on goal. And LA shot 33 times in game 4 in the first round. He stopped all of them. But Dallas, this is on paper a team that's better than the Kings. Only for that to be matched by how Stuart Skinner performed in game 4 against the Kings in this game. Because this is the definition of getting goalie. You can't do that.
No, you know what? Honestly, Alec, you might be right. I think Stuart Skinner is playing his best game right now. Have been close. I'm trying not to get lost in the weeds of everything else, but I do want to say this because it's on the front of my mind. This is not what Alec's going to believe. This is just me right now because we got 2 more periods left to go. We got 40 more minutes of regulation at least. Once I saw that second goal get sent in by a good puck entry for Connor McDavid, I had an immediate sense of dread in my brain because I'm thinking, honestly, Alec, this game's over. And I'm saying that now with 2 periods left to go. I actually feel a little bit strongly about that as well, only because Dallas shot themselves in the foot twice, and Edmonton already took advantage of both of those chances. Edmonton right now isn't having to press. Again, they're just taking advantage of what's been given to them. And you know what, honestly, Alec, that's a sign of a good hockey team.
They are. Rounded team again, just like in the old days of Gretzky, Messier, Coffey, Lowe, to name a few of them. Grant Fuhr, another Jari Curry, they're not well-rounded again. They're playing defensive hockey this time around. They're relying on their power play and their defense and their goal this time around. The game's not over for them, but you need to have a better sense of display and go with the quality over the quantity. Yeah, you got 12 shots, but you're having good quality shots. And Stuart Skinner, he's answered the bell on all of them. So for everything I brought to Dallas, they're doing everything I do. That Stuart Skinner may be shutting them down all for the rest of the way. Now there are 2 periods left for Dallas to go through if they want to force a game 7. Remember, normally dangerous lead in hockey, but if Dallas, they have their backs against the wall, and I don't know how the Rangers being outplayed bad,
No.
But it's bad for Dallas.
I can agree with that. It's not quite at that level for periods of time, but it's not looking good. And blame on him. And if Cooper Hopkins was listening again, I think he'd be a little bit upset at this, but I'm going to try to keep it as objective as I can. He's playing injured. Again, he had to go through some of the pain medication off the stuff at the walking boot, as you talked about. They shot him up with whatever they could to go ahead and play this game. But a couple of those turnovers there, the one is the penalty, end up being a tripping call. and then you get stick lifted from behind by Connor McDavid. Look, I understand how hard it's the fastest guy in the league. Nobody can be able to keep up with him. Turnovers, and for a team like Dallas, as we mentioned in Games 4 and Games, they're reeling right now. They can't afford to have Kris Tanev have any more of those mistakes. But honestly, Alec, too, we talk defensemen. Who else are you going to rotate? You have to use Kris Tanev.
You have to. If you're going on your defensive end, you need to have Tanev in the game. I know it's the walking boot. Yeah, he got that injection in between, but he's not at 100%. Even as a defensive stalwart, he may be a little slower to play because injured after he blocked that shot in game 3, and I feel that impact's noticing. What I'm curious about here, if I'm Peter DeBoer, is that if you want an offensive spark in this game, then what I don't know why is the case of leaving Alex Petrovic on the defensive lineup, because we've been wondering where in the world is Niels Lundqvist on the lineup.
Let me ask you this, Alec, because I'm not quite aware, but Niels Lundqvist is healthy, correct?
He is. He's a healthy scratch.
That's what I thought going into it. There's been enough time. He's been a very good Dallas Star. I'm not necessarily certain why he's not going to say, you're not taking out Essa Lindell or Miro Heiskanen. I understand that, but if you want to sub in Kris Tanev and give him a little bit less time, when you had somebody like Niels Lundqvist, you could have done that. Or maybe you could have taken out somebody like Ryan Suter or Petrovic or moved that around. I feel like he needed to be in the lineup today.
He had to. If you're going with the 6 defenseman route, that's where you take out either one of Stuart or Petrovic and put in Lundqvist in the lineup. Now, I understand that Petrovic, he's getting used in sheltered minutes. That's okay. But if you need the offensive spark, that's where Lundqvist can come in. He can provide you that on a third pairing role. He doesn't necessarily have to be on the second pairing with Lindell because him and Tanev, even if Tanev is not at 1%. But you gotta put it Lundqvist onto the line.
I'll say this too, as we're talking about some coaching lines. You don't normally talk about all this, but the only reason I bring it up too, because we mentioned Maverick Bourque, number 22. And you know what? If you want to go ahead and dress Maverick Bourque, I would have just went with the 7, to be honest with you, and move him out of the lineup to be able to put in Niels Lundqvist if you wanted to do it that way. I think it's pretty curious on Peter DeBoer's side, and I will say this. I know I mentioned the Kelsaw question, so I won't beat a dead horse there, but I kind of feel like Peter DeBoer's grasping at straws today. I really do.
The biggie here is that he wants to have the spark on the forward side. Bourque was the AHL MVP season, so he's on the lineup with the season on the line. So maybe the logic can make a little sense, but he's a raw prospect.
Right.
We don't know what we're going to get for.
No, and that's the thing for me. Like you said, raw prospect in a playoff game and a must-win. How do you get your experience? You should get your experience in the preseason and regular season and play meaningful games there. In the postseason, you got to go with your best guys and the ones that you can trust. But I guess when you look at it too, with Joe Pavelski not being able to do that much, Mason Marchment, Jason Robertson had the hat trick game. Other than that, been a little bit of silent for his standards. Rope Hintz largely injured. It's kind of been Sagan and Ben. There's just not been enough for Dallas to be able to go ahead and win this series. I understand how good Edmonton has been defensively, and on the penalty kill has been otherworldly too. But Dallas hasn't shown me enough that they can go ahead and go to the Cup final.
No, they haven't. They haven't really shown that much. Whether it be power play and getting shut down and stymied all over by this historic Oilers penalty kill. I'm saying historic because we haven't seen a penalty kill like this.
No, we haven't. Let me ask you another question, and then we can take it wherever you want. Just humor me on this one. So let's say Dallas got eliminated by either Vegas or Colorado, and it was Vegas or Colorado playing the Edmonton Oilers today. Do you think one of those teams would have beat Edmonton, or do you still think Edmonton had a chance to go to the Cup final?
I would say if it's Colorado, it's a coin flip. If it's Vegas, I think it's Edmonton going to the Stanley Cup final. Because I feel the team that has the biggest chance to beat the Oilers among the teams that were eliminated by the Stars, I think Colorado would take that. They have the tools necessary You beat the Oilers, you match them, especially on both ends of the ice. The goaltending, that's the only question mark they have for the Avs. Stuart Skinner's as kind, Alexander Georgiev, he had his best game of the playoffs in Game 6 against Dallas. But other than that, he's been more up and down this season. But when you have a goaltender that's been up and down, usually it's not really a good sign. I may give them a chance against the Oilers, but I still have the Oilers.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to throw that out there because I was kind of leaning Colorado. And at this point for Dallas, a little bit how hard it is to get to this point. And again, they played through, defending Stanley Cup champ, the defending Stanley Cup champ 2 years ago. But I thought there could have been more. I would have expected more. Dallas still has time. They got 2 more periods, and Alec's going to take this second period, and then he's going to close it out, assuming we only go through regulation. This has been a very physical Game 6 so far as we get some good camera shots from really, I think the fans have been asking for, Oilers fans, for Darnell Nurse, guys like that to be able to show a little bit more grit and sandpaper. You mentioned bringing in Corey Perry. You mentioned Philip Broberg as well. It seems like every single button that Kris Knoblauch has pushed the correct button.
Whether he be making some line changes or whether it be the penalty kill, if you make any of these line changes, your Kris Knoblauch, it's working every time. You make any substitution, it works. Subbing Sam Carrick in place of Derek Ryan, that works. Subbing Derek Ryan in the place of Sam Carrick also works. You want to strengthen up that fourth line, you can go either way between the two of them. Dylan Holloway, he's shown his that what the Oilers need a speed-based game. Ryan McLeod, he too has shown his burst of speed. Corey Perry, still in the net front presence. Perhaps if the Oilers go to the Stanley Cup final, maybe a chance for him to finally lift that trophy for the first time in 17 years and to snap that Stanley Cup he had by losing 3 straight 2020 to 2022. That should be a feel-good moment if Perry gets to lift it again.
It's going to be something for me as we get to the Saturday portion, and it'll be Game 1. So depending on what happens for Game 1, here's the clarification. If the Dallas Stars manage to win this series, it's going to start at American Airlines on Saturday. Should Edmonton win this series, we'll be at Amerant Bank for Game 1 on Saturday. But it's going to be interesting to me, and this is, again, no disrespect to Oilers fans. I'm just going to need to see one more game from them. If they do it against the Florida Panthers and they look good in the Game 1 or Game 2 to start, then I think I will finally start to believe I'm still on the precipice of picking against the Oilers. Again, I'm sorry, I only didn't do that against Vancouver, but Florida looks like the best team in the league to me. Taking out the New York Rangers, no small feat, but again, for the Edmonton Oilers, taking out the Dallas Stars is no small feat. So I'm very conflicted.
Here we are. Feels very conflicting if it's picking between a hypothetical Panthers-Oilers match because I know the Panthers, we said it yesterday, the Panthers, they solidified themselves as the class of the Eastern Conference. The Oilers, that's a true shot. I thought they would be in this position last year. Well, it took until this year for them to potentially make it to a Stanley Cup final, and they're one step closer to it.
And that's going to be fun to watch, should that be the situation, because we talked a lot about Gustav Forsling, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Dmitry Kulikov, some of the other back-end names they have. How does that matchup on defense work when you have Gustav Forsling against Mattias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Brandon Montour against Darnell Nurse, Brett Kulak? I think that's the one I'm going to be watching the most, is the defensive matchup. The forwards, honestly, for Edmonton, I'm not really concerned about. I think Matthew Tkachuk and all of them and Connor McDavid and RNH can cancel each other out. But that defensive pairing for Florida, I think that's where they could have an advantage.
Yeah, the defense is easy where the Panthers have the advantage between Forsling, Ekblad, Montour, Mikkola, even Oliver Ekman-Larsson chiming in, and Kulikov in sheltered minutes as well. The defensive side, Mattias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard, they can do their work to canceling that out. Plus minus again and again, but he's put the grit and sandpaper around. Forward core, I feel this leans Oilers on this. You have McDavid, you have Draisaitl, you have Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, and Kane. Those five need no introduction onto this. The others around, they did their work defensively, even chimed in on the score sheet as well as some unlikely goals. Florida, they have the depth advantage on the other end. Matthew Tkachuk is a defensive presence as well, so I feel that can factor in. He has all the traits to it. McDavid, he can do all the work up and down through to the ice. Edmonton has the big boys around. Goaltending, I am back and forth on this one, John. I don't know which one. Coaching may lean Florida to this.
Coaching, I'm going Florida with Paul Maurice. I will grant you that. Goaltending, I feel like I should say Sergei Bobrovsky, but Bobrovsky had, not in this year, mind you, but in the Cup final against Vegas, I know Florida was beat up. Bobrovsky's had some games where he hasn't looked all that good. Skinner's had some games where he hasn't looked all that good. So I will grant you a pass on the goaltending side. I agree. I will go with the edge in coaching. I'll agree with you there for Edmonton, and I'm going to agree with you on the defensive edge for Florida. I guess my only undercard, I know it's not UFC, but I can't wait for Matthew Tkachuk versus Evander Kane.
Oh, you have to go there with that.
I think there's going to be some fireworks between those two teams. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, there is. There's going to be a lot of fun on that hypothetical Stanley Cup final matchup. We just have 40 more minutes to confirm such a case.
Let me ask you this, because I know I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I'm trying to do some previews and thinking about things, but we're just having fun. Do you think, because I do, that now Florida's a lot healthier than they were last year? Again, in Vegas, they just ran a beat up. They couldn't do anything. They lost in 5. I think the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't care who the opponent's going to be. I think that's going to go at least 6. Do you get the same feeling?
I have the same feeling. Perhaps I'm leaning Florida into this matchup, but low-key, I would also want a Canadian champion in the Stanley Cup final. So I'm conflicted.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We think it's going to be a longer series, and we also think it's going to be very competitive. Again, it's got to be at this point now. Do all of this, especially on the penalty kill and the power play, kind of shut things down, be opportunistic. I mean, that's the kind of things you have to do if you're going to Panthers, because the Florida Panthers don't give you much.
Yeah, they're not. They're doing a good job of limiting their opponents' underlooks. I mean, with the roads they went through on the way to the final, look at the goaltenders that they beat. Andrei Vasilevsky, Jeremy Swayman,
Right.
Igor Shesterkin.
Yes.
Those are 3 Vezina caliber goaltenders. It's not an easy path for the Panthers in any way, though. To the Lightning, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, as they did push for Game 5, which they eventually lost. But Vasilevsky, we've been having some questions about him. Is he the same as he was in years past? There's no doubt about Swayman and Shesterkin being some of the best that they had to offer. But Vasilevsky, is he the same goaltender that he was in years past? I'm starting to have a sense of a little bit of a fall off.
I think there's a little bit of a fall off there, Alec. I'm not saying he's declawed, but he's not the Vezina level goalie that he once was. And I also will say this, to be fair, we both know this already, but the Tampa defense certainly is not what it once was. That's why several weeks ago they tried to reunite McDonough back on the team, because they need defensive help.
And from Nashville and the trade right back, do keep in mind that the Predators, I believe they have used up their retention slots on what I see. So as I'm checking right now on Cap Friendly, that Nashville, they have used up 2 of their free retention slots. I feel they're saving their last one for the next trade deadline, because if they used up their final retention slot on McDonough, they may be in a pickle in terms of cap.
They're going to have to manage that, because they're going to have some expectations. Nashville, pretty good surprise this year. We're going to see if they can continue that alongside the ownership group of Barry Trotz. You get a chance to take this over in the second period. Maybe you can bring the Dallas Stars some good luck, Alec, because they.
Well, I'm not going to assure you as much, but we get underway here in the second period. McDavid and Ben off this face-off. Dallas in control here at the lights. This puck over the near half boards. Edmonton in the royal blue with the orange shoulder pads. I'm Alec Nava, joined here by John. Oilers lead 2-0 on 2 power play goals. Connor McDavid on a highlight reel goal, his 5th of the playoffs and 3rd of this series. Zach Hyman is playoff leading 14th. Evander Kane has not returned as Dallas gets tied up on a shot. So he left the game in the first period. We'll have to monitor his status. White Johnson deflection out in front. That might have hit the side of the post. We don't know if this went in. We'll have to get a replay on this, but that was so close. His Stars cutting this deficit in half. This was sent down the distance of the ice. Foegele icing. How close was that?
Looked like it was near the top left post. Look at the camera shot on it now. As Miro, Heiskanen, and Johnston sends it toward the net, it gets deflected, and the Edmonton defense right there, Evan Bouchard, keeps it clean. Good work from him.
And Evan Bouchard may have saved the goal, but right in time from Logan Stackham, and Bouchard was right in front of the approaching Stackham and threatening to Kris. We have take this base out there, reunite the original first line of Dallas. Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski. Pavelski helped out by Robertson. Backhand shot, blocked away by Skinner. Race for this puck. Edmonton flips this one out. Head clear. Here's McDavid for the far side. McDavid tied up. Just flicks it onto Oettinger. Makes an easy save. David pressuring. Here's Heiskanen. Sent one over to the near side for Robertson. Then grabs for Rope hits. And that's an excellent shot block right in front by Mattias Ekholm. Up for the lane. Draisaitl twists and turns. Looks to feed it up. At the near corner, McLeod can't pick this one through. At the far side, now here he is. Back pass right behind for Perry. Matched up by Pavelski. Up over to McLeod. At the far side, drop pass. And this goes all the way over to the near side. This is flipped on out. Not cleared. Out inside by McLeod. This goes onto Oettinger's stick. Places into traffic onto Harley. Harley on the opposite side. Twisting and twirling is Robertson. Fed it to himself off the near side. The boards. And this goes over to the near corner where the Oilers growl this one up. It's out to center. Patrick flipped his man. McLeod put it on the flippers. Right back this goes over to Edmonton's ice. Far corner. Right around this goes Sidman's side. Stars pick it up. They're saying it. And he sends this one in deep. Angled up. Recollected at the near corner by Marshman. Pass too far for Sagan. This will be handled at the far side by Janmark, the X-Star. Flip pass up for Holloway. Holloway shoved towards the wall. And turned right away out of it. Deflection from McDavid. Almost made his way over to the goal. McDavid protects at the far side. Henry, get a goal. Right. David. Oh, that one off the side of the cage. It's out in front. Oettinger grabs it. And he'll leave it up for Stuart at the far side. 14-4 shots for Dallas. But it's the Oilers up 2-0 on 2 power play goals. Here's Broberg. For the near side. Flicked it around. Oettinger slows it down. Rushing to there is Connor Brown. Sticked away by Stuart. This goes over to Petrovic. Petrovic off the boards. This goes in deep. First one back is Ekholm. Stars! Oh! Corey Perry absolutely walloped his man. Tie up Maverick Pork in the midst of his standstill was the one hit by Perry. CC got tied up on the pass. It goes down low. And past the Darnell. Twisted around a steal. Pork reaching to there. No. Ray Pork. Right behind the nets. Ekholm. Tie up. Steal emerges. Second career game for Pork in the NHL. Wrap around. It's loose down in front. Pork. And this better rubber pass out in front. Tied up away from Steele. Steele grabs it away from Ekholm. Left circle. And a pass back to the plate. Not after he overskated. Now kept inside. White Johnson. Most inside. His shot. Blocked out of play. 16-16.
We'd have to reverse it back a couple minutes ago, and I'm sure it's going to be showed by TNT. But Connor McDavid keeps it in, able to get this one back near the left side dot, then hit the outside of the post, and then get a wraparound opportunity. He has been skating circles around the Dallas Stars defense, and they're lucky it's not 3-0.
They're lucky that it's not even more of a worse deficit than it already is. It should be 3-0 by this point had it not been for McDavid. Potentially ringing a pipe on that is Dylan Holloway. takes a sip of Gatorade. But still a 14-4 shot advantage. All that matters is the goals. The Oilers have 2. Stars have none. Stuart Skinner's answered every question we'll have to do face up all over again. But Skinner, he's answered every question ever since Game 6 against Vancouver.
Yes, he has, Alec. Again, he's had certain times where he spelled and then come back in. They show Vander Kane is back on the bench.
It's good news for the Oilers as he was banged up at the end of the first period. We'll have to wait and see when he comes back on. McLeod's on the ice. This one down deep. Corey Perry's out there. Oettinger dangerously in the trap at the far half forced by Draisaitl. Perry, no wraparound in there. Out inside by Kulak. Draisaitl now looks back at the point. Kulak shot. That one turned away by Oettinger. Dangerously played near Oettinger by Harley. Harley on the hole. Up for Johnson. Fed it off the far boards and sent inside by Jamie Benn. Skinner plays it over. And this goes around over to the near side of the ice. McLeod. Bang pass around for the boards, sends it that way over the far side of the ice. McLeod to the right side. Here goes Draisaitl. Stars are 1-11 in series when trailing 3-2. The only game that they have won in a game 6 when they're trailing, I believe the last checked, or I should scratch that off. Whereas it was 2016 Game 6 against St. Louis when they were on the road. They forced the Game 7, eventually lost that series. Bouncing puck recovered by the Oilers, and back comes 97. Being passed over to the far side. Now step back for it. Low drive. That was blocked in front, but David tied up by all sorts of stars right around. That allows Kris to take this one away. Here's a 3-on-2. Pavelski, he's in step around. That one wide is Robertson, and now here comes the Oilers as they're on the counter. Here is McDavid looking at the top of the left circle. Just the door. McDavid near corner. Nugent-Hopkins on the hold. Nothing there for us. It's tied up that pass. Marshman across. Dallas loads up. Backfield for Munchman. Trying to undress Broberg. Can't do it as Broberg stayed with him. Backhand pass to the far wall. Oilers have it. Hopkins over to center ice with it. Henry flips it down. Off the stanchion. And this goes to Oettinger. Heiskanen. Henry watching. This goes for Harley. Takes the pass. Walks in front of Oettinger. And watching like a hawk is Connor Brown. Harley has to escape. And the ice takes it himself. Still it's Brown watching. Backhands went around over to Sagan. Out inside by Dallas. Heiskanen punch one. Kick down in front. Sagan right there at the crease. So is Marshman. Skinner once again under siege, making his 15th and 16th saves.
Good work on the other end for Thomas Harley. Took it his own end, coast to coast, to set up Heiskanen with a ripper. Rebound right in front for Tyler Sagan, who couldn't bury it thanks to the Skinner heroics. Marshman also there as well. Good work there for Stuart Skinner as we go to break.
For Jake Oettinger, who has not been tested a lot in this game, he's seen his counterpart playing like he has been against Calgary in the first round series 2 years ago. That's strange to say, but how good Skinner has been in this conference final.
Yes, he has. I do want to throw a question out to you, Alec. I know Edmonton on the shop board, there's not very many, and it's only 6 right now, compared to Dallas's 16, but it feels like every time the offensive end, I feel like they're going to score.
That's the feeling right there. And Dallas, with those last ones from Tyler Sagan and Mason Stuart Skinner, he's answered the Jake Oettinger. He needs a counter here for Dallas if they were to get back in this here. Dallas needs to continue to press. They've done so at the tail end of Game 5 in the third period, but they can't just have their best period being saved for the third every time. You got to play a full 60-minute game. And with them essentially getting 2 goals allowed in that first period, but they're getting their offense. But
I'm not sure where they're going to come from right now. Stuart Skinner, as you said, keeps playing the way that he is. I know you mentioned it a little bit with Jake Oettinger needing a press and locking it down. Let me take this one step further for you. Can Jake Oettinger give up another goal and Dallas still win? Do you think that they can score 4? Because I don't think Jake Oettinger can give up another goal. I think he's going to shut the door the rest of the way.
He's been playing his hardest here, but the drought is with multiple 30-point playoff years with 2 wins, 9.6.
You got all those names up in the rafters, and every single one of them are deserved. You take it away.
Grant Muir, Jari Curry, Mark Messier, Kevin Lowe, all those guys. McDavid's a power play goal and assist, 2 shots. Draisaitl is in. Tangle up, Harley in the way. Draisaitl out in front. McLeod might have had the puck knocked loose on it, and he lost an edge. The Shane can't handle it. Oilers quick on the counter. Draisaitl. Perry decides to go for a change. Draisaitl has to wait for help. Dallas gets it out. And a foot race for this puck will be won by Sam Steele. Brett Kulak got to him, and Steele got knocked loose. Oilers hold. Dangerous. They get this one out. Over to Edmonton ice. This goes back inside. Steele got knocked away. McLeod beats it up. And sent in for the near side of the ice. Perry twisted and turned. Oettinger left it behind over to Lindell. Essa Lindell for the far side boards. Dallas waits a minute. Kris Tanev blocked through the lane. Tanev drops it up. Over top of the left circle. Whites up and scared. Shuts it again. 53 of the last 54 shots base he had stopped. They got 54 of the last 55.
That's as close to perfection as you can get. Dallas entry, Matt Duchene off of a failed clear. As you try to get a piece of it there, Darnell Nurse would send it the other way. They're profiling Edmonton's defense. They have been one cohesive unit, Alec. They're closing everything down that they need to.
17 shots, 17 saves for Stuart Skinner at the door. Every single time, Jamie Benn, Connor McDavid on the faceoff at the left circle. Shandor Alfonso drops the puck, and we won by McDavid. Bouchard flips it out over to center ice. Picked up now by Hyman. He's got a goal already. Cut off by Tanev. This allows Lindell to pick up this puck. It's not out. And the way there, Bouchard, Dallas flips it through. Over for the far side of the ice, they clear. Here's Ekholm. Dallas gets some much needed changes. Ekholm flips it up. Lindell bumps it down. Tanev. Back for Lindell. He wishes. Wise up, sends it over for Johnson. Johnson tied up. The first over to Ben. High shot. Went over Skinner's glove. Hyman takes a hold of it. Over center ice. This goes over to Nugent-Hopkins. Approaching man is Bouchard. But turned away. Tanev finds Lindell. And the bank pass goes over to the far side near the Dallas bench. Edmonton denies them entry. Flip back over to Dallas ice. And some more players come onto the ice. Fresh bodies out. Tanev. Right across. Lindell. On their tail ends of their shifts. Stankham and leads the way. Here Robertson back out. CC swaps this one over. Off the far boards. And it goes over to the sides. Petrovic. Over to Stuart. They're fresh from the bench. Flip forward by Hintz. Hintz is denied entry. Now it goes inside. Hintz to the left circle. Past Robertson. Grabbed down by Broberg. Broberg gets it over the far side. The last time he made the Stanley Cup final, 2006, against the Carolina Hurricanes 8 seed. First time this ever happened in NHL history in which an 8 seed made it to a Stanley Cup final. They last won it in 1990 off the heroics of Bill Ranford as their goaltender. 11:07 left to go in the second period. It's still a 2-0 Oiler lead. We're the far side. Carried inside by Ben. Slowed once. Now stops in the far corner. Turned away by, that was Hintz actually. And this one rolls past Heiskanen onto the Oiler logo. He'll have to restart all the way back with it. Better for the middle. On the back end, Sagan way too far. Darnell Nurse way before the icing was meant to be called. This goes over to Kulak. 4 lefties and 2 righties on this scout, on this Edmonton defense. Went forward. Oettinger plays it on his back end around for Heiskanen. Heiskanen for the near wall. Went up for Sagan. This goes down with the ice. Kulak the first one there. Marshman missed this target. Kulak. The Shane behind the net. The Shane goes back over to the point for Heiskanen. Drives one. That was Nurse. Got bodied up. Gets back up on his feet. Drops it back over to Nurse. And across for Kulak. Kulak in the near boards. Bank pass intercepted by Heiskanen. This one flipped up in the air. Won the Oilers fans thought they were going to get it. And so are many more. This Shane comes out. Nurse at the near corner. This is brought back in. Right around this goes back over to the point. Just help. Heiskanen backhands one deep. Nearly halfway gone. Well, more than halfway gone in regulation. Edmonton wants to flip it out. They do so. By Oilers. Here's Crowd. Looks back at the right circle. Looks to find someone. He's pinned over the far corner. But Crowd looks to help him out. Right behind Oettinger. Tanev ties him up. Sticking away now is Darnell. Draisaitl. More pushing and shoving by the Stars. Desperation really showing up by the Stars on their defensive end. It's not Cloud, he's right there. It's been a factor in the series. Cleared out by Dallas. Foot race. CC sixes one away. Here are the Stars. Bork moves it up. Maverick Bork, first career playoff game, walks around. Oilers in the way of him. This one tapped around, sent backwards over the left circle. This goes over to Skinner. Will freeze it up.
Well, I'm looking at it right now for Dallas, and I'm starting to feel, I agree with you on the desperation as we go to break, but I'm starting to feel like everything is settling in for me and maybe for the Dallas Stars, because that was about 5 or 6 minutes during your call in which I've seen Dallas turn able to get in the zone, not being able to generate chances like they did in the first. Yes, they conceded 2 in the first, but they had about 12 shots on goal. Now they got about 5 with more than half the period gone, as you mentioned. They got to find a way to turn it back up here because Edmonton's starting to put on the defensive screws.
They have been throughout this series and throughout the playoffs. They have known, and this is a team that they haven't known for playing defense in the last few years, but now it's been that way for them. I'm not saying it's a Florida Panthers-like turnaround because they're not as physical as the Panthers are, but they're a really good defensive team now.
I can see your point, though, because we went from the Florida Panthers being the last team to get in to make a cup final, have that run, and now best offense in the entire world, no defense, goaltending to speak of. Now they got both of those and still have one of the best offenses. So I get your point, and that's what Oilers have become now. Again, they got 9-10 left to go in this second. We're over half of regulation done to begin with in this game. One more period after this, should this stay 2-0, Oilers probably feel pretty good about themselves to close it out at home.
Yeah, they should feel pretty good about themselves. And it may blow your mind about this, but isn't it amazing that exactly 200 days ago they were 2-9-1?
Was it 200 days ago that happened? Yeah, we all remember that. They lost to the San Jose Sharks.
And that was mind-blowing, that all the questions about it felt like disaster this season. They ride the ship, and they're maybe on their way to the Stanley Cup final. Well, the 2019 St. Louis Blues almost have company.
And it's like you just turned into Thanos if you're Edmonton. I don't know how they did it.
The big leader, the hiring of Kris Knoblauch, like the 2019 St. Louis Blues, they have an interim head coach offered away a deal. No matter what happens this season, Kris Knoblauch's interim tag is out at the sin bin, sent it in deep. Goes over to the near corner, and then behind Oettinger, Liddell picks it up. It's the center. Dallas right across, almost out down by the Oilers. Heiskanen backhands one in deep the other way. This goes right behind Skinner. Ben driven towards behind the net. Johnson right there with him. Ben grabs it, feeds it over to Johnson. And the near half boards down the near corner. Johnson tied up by 2 Oilers. Ben trying to get it back. Oilers steal. Now it's kept in by Dallas, just at the blue line. Can't do much of it. Prober at the floorboards. Corey Perry banks it up. Stars keep it. Heiskanen lights up. This goes wide to net. Had a good look. You get one from it deep. And just dumps it in over at the near boards. Oettinger plays it out over to Liddell at the near corner. 8:08 to go in the second period. Oilers lead 2-0 on a pair of power play goals. In the first period, Skinner led it for Bouchard. Bouncing puck goes back over to Bouchard. Comes back to like fourth hammer. The Oilers tied up. This is a takeaway. Stars drop back. And there being 2 Cuban, kept it by Robertson. Rough hit. Blocked it away by Skinner. Great save right there. And the Oilers clear again. 18 shots. 18 saves by Skinner. He says it about everything. Oilers clearing out all the way. It's a foot race. Zach Hyman, Thomas Harley. Hyman was ahead. No, they say Harley was ahead. And Oilers fans and players are protesting.
I don't know about that one. In real time, it certainly looked like Zach Hyman was able to get there. This shot, I want to see if it rang the pipe. Yeah, it did. Left side bar off the steal, right on top of the circles. And Dallas, as Joe Pavelski able to. Rope Hintz could have made it a 1-goal game.
That's bad puck luck. It feels like it's seen deja vu to game 6 of Rangers Canes. There's the Stars being the Hurricanes and the Oilers being the Rangers.
That's sometimes the way it goes right now, but if you're Dallas, you need to do what you just did there, Alec. Force steals, force pressure, and force Edmonton to make mistakes. They're not doing enough of that.
And they did so in the last possession. Rope Hintz rang it off the outside the post. Had a good look over Blocker's side on Skinner. Just rang the post. Pavelski is 33rd, playing his 33rd game with facing elimination, tied for the 5th most in NHL history. Trying to split the gap with Hyman. Over the near corner. Bouncing puck still at the near side. McDavid unable to hold it in zone. He'll have to retreat all the way back. Away from Duchesne. McDavid still holding up. The first right back. Bouncing puck over to Nugent-Hopkins, who sends it over to the near corner. Heiskanen the first one back. Heiskanen absolutely leveled. And that's Sagan sends this one through. Here's Duchesne. To the left circle. Away from Nurse. Sends it back over to the point for Petrovic. Petrovic feeds it across over to Duchesne. Beat out by Henry as he clears this one over to the Dallas bench.
That's unfortunate there for Petrovic because if you had a chance to handle that puck and get into the left side boards, played regular postseason without a cup. Ryan Suter, 1,576. Joe Pavelski, 1,532. Two players on the same team trying to get their hands on their cup for the first time, and they're up against it with the Edmonton Oilers.
That's not mentioning Suter's former teammate Zach Parise on this, or Burns' former teammate Mark-Edouard Vlasic. Vlasic was a defensive stalwart for the Sharks in his prime. He's still around, but he's a shell what he was before. Remember, he was the pick that the Sharks selected when the Flames got Mika Kiprusov. Here come the Stars. Maverick Fork is in. Fork positive by Stuart Skinner, right on the rookie Maverick Fork.
That's what I like to see from Maverick there. Don't even try to be too cute. You're on the line. You're getting limited minutes. You need to do something good for your team. Force a face-off there. Good job.
Skinner to the right side. Dallas out shooting Edmonton. A sense of desperation. They are still showing it. Fork had a good and set a good look. Has some good looks for the Stars. They need to get on the board here. They may be due for something here sometime between now and in the third period. Stars win this face-off. Heiskanen finds Johnson, right circle. There's a kick save. Rebound loose. Oilers have a stick lift from Johnson. He gets it back. The pass. Didn't make it over to Stankovic at the far side. Can't find Johnston. Oilers trying to locate this. They do. Line the red line. Just enough for the line changes to ensue. Heiskanen swipes away for the approaching Oilers. Nurse trying to stick it right back for Edmonton. Spins it around. And leave for Oettinger right behind the crease. Heiskanen. Order via post for Dallas. Jamie Benn. Near out boards. Sends it over opposite side. Sends it deep. This goes past. Over to Knoblauch. Brett Kulak waits in the far corner. Grover sends it over to the far side. Bouncing puck. Recollected by Heiskanen. Here comes Jason Robertson. And it's puck too far for him as it reaches Skinner. 5:50 to go here in the second period. One blast. This was stopped by Skinner. A rebound loose right in front. This goes back over to the right point. Canada again over the left side. Another long shot. Answered by Skinner. At the far corner. Pavelski tied up. Now again, as Robinson sets up hits. Great stick it away to cancel that out. Draisaitl tries his one to the fence. Instead of initiating a foot race. He heads to right behind Oettinger's crease. Sticked away several times by Canada. 5:20 to go. Taken up by Canada on the outside. On the receiving end of it, right back. Through the Edmonton logo. For Robertson. Robertson walks the point. Sticked away by Draisaitl. Back out is Lindell. Delayed offside against Dallas. Recollected by Ekholm. And the first man back for Dallas is Tyler Seguin looking to steal it away. Ekholm skates away from him. Cross-side pass over to McDavid who pokes this one through. At the near corner sets up. Lindell. Across. Heiskanen handles this one as he is being chased from behind by McDavid. Heiskanen moves up with the way to gap. Heiskanen backhands one around the crease. Bouchard on him now on the switch. Ekholm picks it up now. Mattias Ekholm, the former Predator. Up for McDavid. 2-on-2 on the other way. McDavid right on Heiskanen. McDavid waits. Back to the point. Bouchard waits. Winds. It's one foul. 7 the shots on goal. If that one counted, yes it did. As this one flipped from Edmonton onto the Dallas. Wendell waits with 4:20. Up for the ice this goes. collected. Here they come again. Zach Hyman's in. Hyman to the right circle. Hyman. No wrapper on there as he was closed out by Lindell. Hyman sandwiched by Marchman. Kane keeps his side. Henrique. Up to points. Philip Rover. Rover tries again. This time he's blocked out by Oettinger, and we get a stoppage here. 4 minutes, 2 seconds left in the second. About the same place that Rover scored in Game 5. This time he gets turned away.
Look, if you're Dallas, you can look at on the outstretch of 20-8. I think that'd be a little bit disingenuous. You give up a couple power play opportunities. They were in key situations to be able to make those saves in the slot like that. Right now, Oettinger, again, he hasn't had much to do, but I'm not putting this series on him. And on the other side for Dallas, yeah, talked about. He had 13, 14 shots on goal in the first. Now you haven't had as much. Anything for Skinner's been kept on the outside. The shot board looks more inflated for Dallas than it really is. Skinner's doing a great job making saves on the outside most of his work. A couple rebounds here and there that he's been good on. Both teams are doing what they need right now. And I wouldn't be surprised, Alec, if we don't see too much more pressing here from Edmonton. Continue to do what you do. Keep the shots on the outside. Stay in front. You already got a 2-goal lead. That should be enough to be able to get the job done, considering how well you played in this series.
How long you played this series, regardless, you want to keep the start to the outside. Do not force them onto the inside, where the high danger chances are usually at. The only goal from last game for Dallas, Johnson at the low slot. That was relatively the only good look that Dallas may have had throughout that game. That's the type of game that the Oilers want to have at Dallas. To look at the outside and not do the inside. Force them to lower quality looks. Great job by Edmonton.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying too, and I'm glad that we discussed that through the commercial break. Again, they're showing some of the formation setups for Ben at center, and they want to have Heiskanen cut to the right off a pass to get a quick shot, maybe a lane, get a setup. But again, as we see on that outside chances, that's what we talked about. You got to get something better. Dallas got to try to force some steals against Edmonton, but Edmonton's not buying any of that. They're being smart with the puck. They're managing it well, and it's a critical offensive zone draw for McDavid. He wins it.
Around the horn, this goes over to Bouchard. Put it far wall. It might have been a penalty. We don't know what the call is. And this period does have known so far. 3:57 remains here in the second period. We don't know the call.
I think that got deflected out of play, Alec. We're just going to do it again.
And so it's deflected out of play. That's what you noted. Do over at the right circle. McDavid and Ben again, as with this time is to the left of Jake Oettinger. McDavid grabs a hold of it. McDavid skates around. He sends up Ekholm at the bottom of the left circle. This goes around. Nugent-Hopkins has it far corner. Back for Bouchard. One shot. The rebound moves right in front. This goes around for Hyman. Trying to tuck his one through. And the way there was Dallas. They send this to left of the ice. Season one going to his left. And it's an icing.
Got to be happy with that. If you're Edmonton, you win a draw, you get more chances. You get traffic on him. Doesn't work there. Game 7 only needed if necessary on Tuesday. Alec and I'll be back with you. If not, it's going to be June 8th, next Saturday, when you play against the Florida Panthers. We're going to see which team has the right to do that. And someone's got a Panthers jersey in the crowd. Good man. He wants to watch the opponent in real time.
Well, yeah, first look at this firsthand as to who they're going to face here. Most likely it's going to be Edmonton. Stankoven flips it over to himself. He wants the glove, and he wants to go and Philip Rover. He's calling his number. Mike Johnson behind the net. Tapped around his goes over the left side for Harley. Stankoven picks up his glove back as he was skating towards it. Jamie Benn now sends it backwards, intercepted by Edmonton. They get it out. First to this puck, one of the Oilers. They flip it down for the length. Dylan Holloway there, moving it away from Johnson. At the near corner. Tie it. Harley. Stankoven on the way there. Sticks it away. Not. Harley intercepts. He goes the other direction with this puck. Now for the lane. Who centerizes Stankoven skating with this. He is at the far side with Robertson. CC tapped that one away. 2:48 left in the second period. Both goals came in the first on the power play. Heiskanen in with Robertson. Bouncing puck over the left side. Pick up. Oilers grab it. We're in the far side now is Holloway. Holloway banks this one off the boards near Brian Boucher. We get a stoppage.
He's already been brushed with some snow, and now he gets a puck So he's been a busy man. He's used to being a goaltender and seeing a lot of vulcanized rubber, but he's right now during the sideline stuff.
Hey, how about Buck? How about you, lucky Oilers fan, receiving it from Bouchard? It's your lucky day.
That's a very class act move. You gotta like that.
Have one for the kids who want to get their dreams going of being a professional hockey player, no matter what league they're in. Professional, whether it be a minor league or major league, their dream has come true now.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I've never been to a lot of regular season ones. I'd like to scratch that off the bucket list at some point.
Eventually, it will happen between the both of us. I want to go to a Hurricanes playoff game as well.
That would be a very cool opportunity. Let's see what Edmonton's going to do here.
On the lead, go to near side, off McDavid. Oettinger placing away with Draisaitl on the Lindell. Star 7, looking for a pulse. This one deflected inside by Robertson. Rush. Hits first there. Tied up by Kulak. Nurse joins it well. Penny Robertson. Several pokes. This comes out for 97. What will McJesus do? Lead pass up. This is Nurse. We'll just swing it off of the near corner and off the side of the cage. Oilers have it. Janmark. Could not be held in by Nurse. Here the penalty box doors. Went back in. On to Oettinger. We'll place it over to Heiskanen. A minute 55 left in the second period. No score in the second period, but we do have some in the first. Seconds in. Turnaround pass. And the Oilers pickpocket out latest to Shane gets walloped. And Perry off the board senses it deep. Harley the first back away from Draisaitl. Intercepted on the clear. One shot was kicked away by Oettinger. And the tie-up. Marchman was in the midst of it. Dallas has it back. Pass with the near side of force. Too far for Thomas Harley. And will be restarted by Ekholm, who sends one over to Bouchard cross ice. And again for Ekholm off of the near side. Up the lane now. Tanner sawed away. Here is Duchesne. Through two defenders. With Duchesne. To the far corner. Bouchard away from traffic. Dump back in deep through center as we get more line changes. We approach the final minute of the second period. 10 deep. No pickpocket, but now we have one. Lead the way there is Bouchard. Tie up on the stick lift. Steele gets this one through center. And we have a whistle here. Bouchard picks it up. Once again, we have no penalties here in the second period as Draisaitl heads to the bench.
Yeah, it's been. And they profile Connor McDavid, and for good reason, as you watch the magic from the first and then the steal against Tanev, set this one. Hyman for a goal. I think 97 has been at his best right now, and he's certainly shown it. His team is about 52 seconds away from taking a 2-0 lead into the second intermission.
Yeah, they're facing a heavy deficit, shots 20-8, but they have to lead where it matters. 2-0. That pass intercepted, intended for Darnell. Guess who's there? Connor McDavid. He's been all over the ice, playing a complete 200-foot game. Go to the far side. Deep. Cody Ceci trying to stick this one away. That's what's that out of Heiskanen out of the Dada. And picked up by the Oilers. No rebound in there. Stars keep for a split second before it's knocked out. 22 seconds until the second intermission. Cody Ceci leads away from the far side. Oettinger leads it from behind. He stumbles. Trying to pick this one through. Side. Keeps it over. And for McDavid, who spins away. Zach Hyman comes out in front. Tied up on the shot. 5 seconds. Oilers have the last chance. Around. No wraparound. This will wrap up the second period. See if one last shot. One after another. We do not get any fisticuffs as we have to head in second period. Connor McDavid, the last shot. Is a 21-8 shot advantage for the Stars. 2-0 goal advantage for the Oilers, who are 20 minutes away from the Stanley Cup final.
Unbelievable, Alec. Period as always. Again, as you mentioned, Connor McDavid on the power play for the first from Draisaitl, Bouchard. Hyman on the power play from McDavid and Bouchard. So McDavid, couple of points. Bouchard, a couple of points. Skinner, 21 of 21. That's the story. Jake Oettinger, 6 of 8. Again, your reset hits, 20 to 15. 14 on the draws. They had a couple power plays that did not score. Edmonton got both of theirs. They scored. Both teams got 12 giveaways, and the block shots are 10-6 Edmonton. And I'm not trying to say this to be funny, but I want to ask you this in all honesty. Other than the Rope Hintz wrister that hit the period, Did the Dallas Stars do anything to make you believe that they're going to win this game?
I don't think they did. It made me believe that they're going to win this game in for 2 periods because they tested enough. But Stuart Skinner, he's been excellent thus far.
Yeah.
I feel the Stars, they've thrown everything that they had through 2 periods. I feel sometimes you need to test some more. Go after it at the front of the crease. They've done that, but what more are they going to do? Because it feels like everything that they've thrown at Stuart Skinner has been either knocked aside by Skinner or on the for Edmonton.
Yeah. It's been cleaned up by the defense, and it's been cleared out for the most part. As you said, the shots have been from the outside. There hasn't been very many setups, and when they've had a time to do that, as you mentioned in the first, there was a couple times where Dallas elected to go for the extra pass rather than the shot, and I think that buried them at this point. I talked about the first period, and I mentioned the Dallas Stars doing about 15 shots and saying that was pretty good. Well, they ended up with 6 in the next period. 4 shots, they've doubled it up to 8, so they have their same surface. It stands. If I was going to throw out a number for you, Dallas shots, that they got to get 21 shots in the third period. I don't know if it's possible, but I think that's what they need to do to try to get this within a goal, maybe even tie it up. They're going to need to really ramp up the activity level. I just don't think the Edmonton Oilers are going to let them do that.
They're trying to make me think back to that Boston College versus Denver game because it feels like they need to double that up.
Yeah.
Boston College light outing in that third period when they double up the shot output in that third period and bring down their all-out attack. I know for a fact that even though Boston College didn't finish the job in that third period and the national championship game, need to double up on the shots, bring that all-out pressure, heavy pressure that is.
Yeah, and again, you have Jake Oettinger back there for a reason. If I'm Peter DeBoer, I'm going to go be honest with you. I'm going to go in the locker room and say, hey, Jake, this is the most pressure we're going to put on you right now in the last 20 minutes of our season. All on offense, we expect you to stop it, and you're going to have to be the last line of defense. And that's the really way I'm going to say it, Alec. And again, hopefully the all-out approach for Dallas can also force them to get a couple more power plays, but you know, Edmonton hasn't really given up anything on that side. They're penalty in the postseason, but Drew's going to have to stand on his head. And I think, really, honestly, if I'm Dallas, I might not even have anyone back on my own side of the line, as crazy as that sounds, because Jake Oettinger, he's going to have to be the guy. If Dallas really wants to go for this, as we just mentioned, they've got.
They had to all out.
So what's going to be left for us if this one is not done? It'll be a Tuesday night, and then I'll go back to nights should Dallas find a way to win this game. So we'll be back with you Tuesday about, I think that one is at 8:45 Eastern. You got an 8:30 start, so a little bit after as usual when I put the coverage on. Other than that, it'll be the NBA Finals. That's going to take place on Thursday. I might try to get a game in with you if I don't have to hang out with Lauren on that side, just to get the NBA Finals started, and then probably after that I'll be leaning toward the Stanley Cup on Friday, and then game 1 on Saturday whenever that does start. We're assuming that's probably going to be about an 8:15 Eastern start as well, whether it's going to be the Oilers or the Stars. We did mention that there is a couple extra travel days in there. You will need that if you're going from the Canadian back out to either Sunrise or Dallas. So there'll be a little bit of flight issues and things, but they get that all squared away. And for Dallas as well, should the Stars figure this out, the Mavericks are already in the finals on that side. They're going to need to have American Airlines being double shifted because they're going to need both of those to put the ice back in and put the hardwood back in.
Same thing for the Celtics. If they're going with it, they're going to be heavily reliant on JetBlue on the way to and from Boston. Yeah. The Mavericks on American Airlines because that DFW, that's a hub for American Airlines. I don't know for all things else. Miami, that's also American Airlines. The Oilers, Canada.
I think you got that absolutely correct on that side for Edmonton. Again, I think they're just happy to be in this position, but they're also playing Stanley Cup playoff games. And Alec and I mentioned this during that long win streak for Edmonton when it got about 16 games, and we said, look, they're winning low-scoring games. They're finding a way to play defense. They're locking in. That's going to serve them well should they make it to the postseason. And Alec, they've bought right back in. They're playing as well as they've ever been. That long win streak. This is the best I've seen the Oilers look.
They have. This is the best that we've seen them for the playoffs. And we look at the hot run they've had under Kris Knoblauch ever since Jay Woodcroft inspiring. Knoblauch has guided this team all the way to this position that they deserve to be at right now. And for them to make it to a Stanley Cup final under his services, big props to him.
Myself, but we always talk about Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, the impending contracts that are going to be available. You know what? If I'm McDavid and Draisaitl, even if I don't win, let's say they lose to Florida, even if I don't win, if I make it to this point, it's kind of shown me with the emergence of defense, the bottom six, everybody else that's bought in. You talk about Knoblauch. I think that might want to encourage me to stay enough to try to go ahead and take another run at this thing, because this Oilers team is never seen for them to be able to get to a cup final. And I mean, they're right there. I don't care about the counterattack style or whatever it is. It suits them well. They're playing well. They've been opportunistic. And as we said, that's what good teams need this time of year.
This is where best teams show up to play. Draisaitl, he was limited to 2 goals and 3 points in 5 games, which is no small feat. But when you have McDavid on the same team as Draisaitl is, that's a blessing you have. 3 goals this far and 10 points in a 6-game span. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman also making their presence felt. Each goals and 2 assists entering tonight, with Hyman getting that goal total up to 3 goals on the way. This team may be the one to do it if a Canadian team were to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I feel like this is the best hope right now, not just because they're in this spot, but we looked at it from a couple days ago, and we mentioned the Canadian teams and where they all are right now. Edmonton seems to be in that biggest lock, because you have the emergence of Mattias, Ekholm, and Evan Bouchard off the trade, and then the homegrown prospect. You have Stuart Skinner playing pretty well. You have a defensive structure. You have a good penalty kill, and McDavid and Draisaitl still kind of driving that bus. Everything's working for them right now. I think every other Canadian team, with the exception of the Maple Leafs, but the Eastern Conference is really difficult. So I think it'd be really hard to expect the Toronto Maple Leafs to get to a cup final, be able to get out of the East. I think the Oilers are going to continue to remain the best hope.
You know about the talk of Canadian teams on the way to the Stanley Cup final. We speak of some of the heroes up throughout. Well, 3 years ago, we didn't expect much of the Montreal Canadiens. They weren't expected to be in the Stanley Cup final as the very last seed in the playoffs, as they knocked out 3 great teams. Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs bumped the Winnipeg Jets. Looked like they were in a free fall, but they did sweep the Oilers that year. The Dave Tippett-led Oilers. Dave Tippett-led Coach Oilers, I meant to say. And then the Golden Knights looked like they were going to make their way there. Montreal took care of it. They were happy to be in the finals. They just ran out of gas that time. The Oilers, for them, it seems like they still have their gas on full.
Yeah, and you're going to get a long break, essentially, if you win this one all the way to the Saturday side. So when there was any instances thinking about McDavid and his health and all of that, and maybe the slow start, even though he had 1 million assists, you get more health to make sure everything else is all squared away. Florida's healthy. Certainly seems like Edmonton's healthy. This should shape up for a very good Stanley Cup final. I mean, hell, we already know when the NBA finals kick off, and a pretty good NBA final with 2 teams healthy. We even talked about Kristaps Porzingis maybe being back from being on the men. So whether it's the NBA finals or the Stanley Cup finals, I think everybody should expect both of those to go at least 6 games. They should be pretty good.
It should be pretty good, of course.
So I want to mention this one last thing too. We'll take a look at any other scores that we got today. Again, everything else, as we still don't have anything else going on NBA side. We're still waiting for that to all get going. Your Major League Baseball scoreboard quite a bit. We can take a look at some notables there. So the Mariners do get the sweep over the Angels as they need to. We mentioned them in the AL West. They want to be able to try to continue to keep their spot as Luke Raley gets a home run. They win 5-1. Dodgers beat the Rockies 4-0. The Yankees 7-5. The Yankees are now 42-19. When you add Juan Soto and a couple other pieces in there, that probably works out well. The Kansas City Royals win 4-3. The Brewers win 6-3. The Nationals get a surprising result over the Guardians. They win 5-2. That one in Cleveland. Texas shut out the Marlins 6-0. Diamondbacks over the Mets 5-4. Mets fall to 24-35. The Tampa Bay Rays, they're trying to find their way back to 500. They're 29-31. The Orioles take that loss 4-3. The Braves, they edge out the Athletics 3-1. The Tigers get a win over the Red Sox. Red Sox 30-30. Tigers just a game below 30. They win 8-4. Twins beat the Astros 4-3. And then the only thing in progress that is Sunday night baseball, Cardinals and Phillies, that's tied at 4 at Citizens Bank.
It was tight, surprisingly so, given the Phillies, they're the leaders in the East. Taking from the Braves 2 straight years when the Braves, they were the division and champions those last 2 years. But it's tied between them.
It's interesting to me because I know that we've talked about the Phillies a lot. We've covered them in postseason baseball the last couple of years. I wonder when it's going to be time for the Philadelphia Phillies because I feel like they've been playing well over the last few. Arizona had that great run. They got to the World Series. Texas right now, there's still so much time left for just 59 games played in the season for them. Don't look like Texas yet. But the Phillies look like they're on a revenge tour right now.
And it feels so. Perhaps a World Series title for the Phillies if they were to go all the way. Well, in basketball with the Pelicans, but pitching right now for whoever was the guy who was pitching recently for the Phillies is someone named Jose Alvarado.
Jose Alvarado, the flame-throwing lefty right now. He had an inning and a strikeout, 3.20 ERA. Again, Taijuan Walker is the one up today. His ERA 5.73. But they have Ranger Suarez, who's been ridiculous for them. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. They still have that pitching rotation that you would expect. Again, we are surprised about the scoreline, though, but that one is going to go bottom 9 with Phillies with the last at-bats as we take a look at Connor McDavid in the dressing room. And Alec, you kind of wonder what he's thinking about. You got to be thinking, man, I'm only 20 minutes away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in my life. To feel good.
You have to. You got that lock-in mentality. Hit for Connor McDavid. He is locked in and ready to strike. He has struck and found it back in the net in the first. He set up Zach Hyman on the second one on the strip and steal off Kris, who usually is his own defensive end. But McDavid, he's made Tanev and Heiskanen both look silly, which is something rare to see.
Yeah, it is, considering how well Heiskanen is. I mean, he's one of the best defensemen in the entire league, and then Kris Tanev is one of the best defensive defensemen that we have in the league. Whether he's battling an injury or not, we know he is. It's tough. For Philadelphia, again, as this one gets up at the bottom 9th, they got Schwarber to be able to lead off. Again, he's always, even though he's 1 for 4 for 3 strikeouts, he could be 2 for 5 with a home run right here. It's home run or strikeout for sure. Let's see what he does. We can give you that last update when that comes across. I'm just excited to see what happens here in this final set of 20. I'll have you close it. I'll take the first 10, and we'll see what we get. I apologize again for taking all this stuff yesterday. I just figured you would have been exhausted off of the Champions League final.
It's all good. It felt like Champions League final. It felt like it was good for me and covering that. So it's only fair that you covered and taking the brunt of it. So if John King, the new relief pitcher for the Cardinals, on this sequence.
So we'll see. So we'll jump in there against Schwarber. And I'm going to plug my phone in, make sure everything else is all good, as we're going to get settled here for the third period. Again, we kind of shared our thoughts as far as what we think is going to be in this game. I made it well known in the first that I think this scoreline is going to hold up. I see much from the Stars to be able to show me anything. That second period was even worse for Dallas, even though they didn't concede because there just was less shots. 6 out of 8, but I'm not going to. I don't think I can blame Jake Oettinger for either one of those goals.
Me neither. The first one, it was a silly move by Connor McDavid as he made both defenders right in front of him look silly. The second one was a strip and steal by McDavid on Zach Hyman, and Oettinger to react to that.
So Skinner, 21 of 21, and again, he'll be the first person that I mention in the story once all this stuff goes live and I add that all in. And again, I'll just be waiting a couple more days. I'll probably take the Monday off and then kind of get everything together as far as the Stanley Cup preview show. Alec and Hopkins. I don't know if we're going to have a 3-man booth the whole time, whether or not Cooper's going to be in it or not. He usually is, but if Alec wants to join in, we'll keep this all in the threes, but probably that's where I'll max it out. I have no problem with having everybody listening in. I just know when we get into Cup finals, I want to try to keep everything as timely as possible. I know that those games are going to be good, so we're going to have our A group in on the Twitter, X Space, Twitch, YouTube, on that side. So, and Alec, again, throughout the season, I should send my humble thanks to you as far as being able to get this all done, on covering all these games. If it was a perfect world, I have a much audience here for all of us to be able to take in and maybe make some money off of it too. But nonetheless, it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait when we get closer to next week when we start the Cup final, and hopefully it extends into late June.
Hopefully it does. It's been a nice working with you throughout the season. Can't thank you enough for this. Oh, man, this feels surreal. The atmosphere all throughout. Hope we get to do more of these. Perhaps heading into next season, we get to cover some more of these hockey games.
Yeah, we definitely will. Again, this is something that I'm going to be doing for a while. I don't anticipate that changing, regardless of what apps we use. I mean, that might change depending on the things that we find. But again, myself, you, Hopkins, and who I run with, and then I try to throughout the season, I'll throw out some feelers there to see if anyone else wants to join in, but work schedules and things get in the way. But I always try to do this to make sure to keep the pipe sharp and keep everything going, because I figure once I take enough days off and I'm out of practice, I don't do so well. You have to keep the reps going.
You have to keep it going up and throughout. We're underway here in this third period. Let's go.
So now we have an opportunity as this one is flipped in, and Edmonton, even though they only have 8 shots on goal, they have 2, both on the power play. Edmonton 10-1 when leading up to the second period in this postseason. I know it doesn't sound like Edmonton, but that's the stats out in front of you. They're 20 minutes away now, going to a Cup final. Here's an opportunity as this goes just aside of Jake Oettinger. This will be near the right side red line. Robertson, he gets the camera shot as Dallas. They need to push the other way and do so quickly. Right now, the money line is plus 900 in Dallas. That is absolutely insane. You really don't expect them to make that comeback. That's what they say right now. And Edmonton has been known to give up some goals against that Vancouver series, but I just think they're going to be motivated right now. They're going to lock it down. As this is sent down for McLeod. McLeod off the spin. Again, 1-5 when trailing after 2. And Dallas essentially in their home ice advantage. We can talk about that too. There really hasn't been one. Here's an opportunity now. Draisaitl, slow up. Near the right side red line. Off the drop pass. As this is a pin for Harley. It's still loose and around the end boards. It's a knuckle puck. It gets away from Johnson, and now Ben can get this at half speed. Send it in. He'll take his change. As Edmonton will take their time in behind the net. Not really rushed yet by Dallas, as they're able to get this pass out to Hyman. It bounced away from him as we get more luck. Shots are 22-8, and this one's iced against the Stars.
Dallas does not want to have that down for the line. You have the first shot this third period. You do not want to have an icing here at any point when you're down by 2. I know the money line is at minus 19. Much favored. That's how favored they are to win this game up in front, especially with the 10-1 mark. went and leading after 2. The only lost game went against Vancouver. Dallas' only win, but trailing after 2. Game 6 against Colorado.
Absolutely crazy. It feels like we're living in an alternate timeline. Now on the left side red line. Here's a clear. Down the ice. Oettinger gets out of his goal crease. He'll play it. He'll make the smart play near the left side because the right was full of Oilers. This one now finally entry across the left wing. What is going to be the measure of the day for Dallas? You know they need shots, but how are they going to get it? That's the big question here. As this is sent back down past the referee and blown dead against the Oilers, we get another stoppage. 17:40 left.
Edmonton gets another icing against them. This one was from behind the red line. That's why they blew the play dead as it went over to the far corner.
So Connor McDavid's line back out there. How many more times will we see that? Robo will be the counterpoint. So line one for both sides. Still very loose. It falls back to Thomas Harley. His shot. This is close to the 5-hole by Skinner. He's got it.
What a save for Stuart Skinner as he was backpedaling towards his net. He saw this one at the last moment with Thomas Harley getting a quick shot face out. This takes a bounce right in front with guess who? Joe Pavelski on the deflection off his stick, and Skinner shut that down.
Pavelski with a wrister right after that. That is the Joe Pavelski that we're used to seeing. If he can lock himself in the third period, maybe get a long deflection, there'll be some life. Not to mention some, because he was a machine in the playoffs for Dallas over the years. They need him. As this is now near the right side boards. Pavelski. I like that he's back out there with Robertson and Hintz. I mean, that's what you should be doing. You're comfortable with that anyway. This is a good block by RNH as this is sent back around the embankment. Harley will retrieve back around for Robo. It's picked off by Rope. Rope now spin and turn. Harley somehow, he had a stick on it for a moment. RNH is going to send it down. Lindell, as the icing gets waved off. It's unfortunate for Dallas because they wanted to take the time to get the icing. And now this is a sloppy pass. This will be sent in left side red line now. There'll be a race for the puck. Put it around the end boards. Dallas try to find it now with Hintz and fired toward the net. This one blocked. There's all sorts of traffic out front as it'll be recollected here for Edmonton. They will send it down the ice. Your race for right now, Derek Ryan almost blows a tire. And Dallas now try to take it right to left in the road whites with the victory green top and the mix with the striping. As it's McLeod and the blue and orange. We'll send this one in back to Oettinger. 16 minutes left to go. And if this holds, the Edmonton Oilers are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Jamie Benn will send this one in. Try to finish his check. It's almost a little bit of a spear there. As this one set on the left side red line. Opportunity now, Johnston. This will go back and nutmeg through Tanev. Man, oh man. This will have to send this one back down. Pass. This is in across the Oilers logo. Stars try to find an entry again. Cody Ceci slamming around the embankment. Dallas trying to keep it in. Harley. This is in against the left side boards. It's flipped. And is it going to be a delay of game?
Dallas is calling for a delay of game against Edmonton. Let's see if this was deflected out.
I'm looking right now at Draisaitl during that camera shot. They're trying to wonder if it's going to go against him. I don't see it right now. And yeah, I don't see a deflection, Alec. This is going to go against Edmonton.
Yeah, it does not deflect it out. See, it was on his own. This did not take a bounce off of Thomas Harley. Harley, Stankoven, they both saw it. This is a deliberation. As of right now, the Oilers fans, they're watching it. Here, DeBoer's calling for the penalty. Dallas may be going to the power play. And if this is not a penalty, it's not reviewable.
That's a good call on your part. As right now, I mean, it looks as clear as day from what we see. But again, if it's not reviewable, then you have nothing to worry about. They're going to go with the initial call. And Dallas is going to feel like they got a little bit burned because this might be their best and only chance here. You never know. I know there's so much time left, but we've been waiting for a Dallas attack. The shot board is a little bit deceiving.
Very deceiving because the Oilers, they got quality looks in that first period on the power play. Here comes the call.
Sounds like we're going to get it, according to the reaction. So Draisaitl to the box, delay of game. The door opens for Dallas.
And it has right now going to have a 25-game shot advantage, tripling the Oilers in shots. But this may come the time if they need to capitalize on this way. The time is right now for them. Set up Pavelski at the front of the net. Get someone to fire from the top of a circle on the top of a slot.
I am down with that. Again, I would almost at this point, if it was 5 minutes expired, I'd be thinking about pulling the netminder for another attacker. It's still way too soon, though. You get another power play, though, in about 10 minutes, so you might have to even think about it, as this is an opportunity for Dallas. This is a must score. Slap out in front of Skinner. Now Dallas has it near the right circle. Here's a spin for Robertson. Back to Miro. Back to Robo now. Robo weaving between the right circles. This one stopped by Skinner. Sent back around off the clear. Pavelski, his pass. This one roofed back in by Dallas. It's Rope Hansen around the end boards. Edmonton right there near the left side red line. It's a scrum. See puck. It's Edmonton. They will chip this one down the ice. 14:40 left to go in the third. John Eder with you alongside Alec Nava. It's a 2-0 lead for Edmonton. A pair of power play goals in the first period have still held up. Rope Hens find the entry off the stick track. He'll get it back from Robertson. Miro Heiskanen right bumper. Now Robo. He'll make the pass to Ben. Ben does not shoot. He'll spin, and he throws it to nobody. The defense was on the middle of a change. That is a disaster. 0 for 13 against Edmonton in this round. Back for Dallas. Harley. He'll give it back up. Try to find an entry now for Duchesne. Marchment. He'll spin. He'll lose it. This will go to Harley, though. Harley through the traffic. It's loose. Picked up by Stankoven. Can he race to it? Off the right side wall. Dallas, they've been kept on the outside. They've got absolutely nothing to answer for in this game despite the shot board. Again, that does not tell the story. Duchesne. Harley, and this pass goes backwards. My goodness, Alec.
It's an absolute disaster, this power play. We're looking for a sense of life for them to capitalize on it, and they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, these are routine passes that are not being forced by Edmonton. They can't even get out of their own way. 13-10 left to go in this third. Dallas now finishes his hit. Where's the puck? It's near the left side. What a block. Sagan got robbed by the defense, and this one stopped by Skinner.
Look, we're seeing this crowd deafening minute after minute. Seeing this power play being all over the place for the Stars. The penalty kill has killed up 28 straight penalties. Unreal among this Oilers penalty kill. It's at historic levels. They have shut down the Stars power play. But this power play for the Stars, at this time around, they didn't do themselves any favors either. It was absolutely gutless on that display. I mean, you're not only getting any looks, you are just flubbing on routine passes over to the point. You're just missing on them. Why?
Yeah, there's no excuse, Alec. And again, if there's nervousness or the cliche, the stick too tight or whatever, we saw that all from Dallas right there on the power play. I mean, you get your best chance. Leon Draisaitl, I know he didn't mean to flip the puck over the glass and give a penalty, but that was your golden opportunity, and you could not even get shots, as you mentioned, or complete routine passes. That gives me no hope that things are going to change. And I said that after the first period, I thought that this game might be done. That might make me look like a genius, but Dallas shot themselves in the foot.
And it continues on with this recent power play. They shot themselves in the foot on this power play. That was disastrous. They wasted a golden opportunity to strike and cut the deficit in half. When you're out shooting them and tripling them in shots, more than that, you're getting close to quadrupling them. The Oilers, they get the quality looks in that first period. And not nothing came out of that. Just getting absolutely gutless, and it feels like this third period, maybe even more gutless than the entire Game 5.
I'm going to be interested when this game is done and we check back away from our coverage. When I look into NHL tonight and I see some of those quotes from Peter DeBoer, if he gets answered a few more questions there, I wonder if he's going to lose his mind. But you know what? Honestly, you're going to have to answer because maybe opportunity. Still, I get it, but that was not a good look. And again, I'm only a couple minutes away from handing it back to you. Connor McDavid does not win the offensive zone draw. Dallas will get puck possession. Shot board is 28-8, and it's 2-0 Edmonton on 2 power play goals in the first period from McDavid and Heiskanen. Oilers' chance have been deafening here at Rogers. Heiskanen now. This one will be sent back in between the players' bench, I believe, so we'll get a stoppage.
They highlighted Darnell Nurse earlier before we got back underway. He has 39 hits this postseason. 3 of them have came tonight here. We can talk about the plus minus all that we want, but he brings that grit and sandpaper to that Oilers team.
Yes, he has, Alec, and I'd like to mention that because I think he's played better because he's been able to do that. You got to throw something out there. Regardless, some players will tell you plus minus is the one thing I want to see, and I don't agree with that, but the one thing I do want to see is hits and physicality and try to wear down because it's a long series, and the more damage you do, the more to your benefit it is as the series goes along. So he's doing his job, and that's what you want to see, that adjustment. As this is now to the left side red line. Opportunity across the Oilers logo. Find an entry, hints. It's a 1-on-4. I'm not sure who he's throwing that pass to as Dallas get back on side. They look discombobulated. They look like an absolute mess. And it's amazing to me that they've made it this far. I'm just going to be completely honest from what we've seen. Wrap around. This one picked off. Dallas try to find it in a rush. Robertson set it up now, wrister long. Chance held from Wyatt Johnston by Skinner.
Make that 66 saves in the last 6 shots that Skinner has faced dating back to Game 4 of this series. He's been absolutely electrifying ever since he got into the lineup all the way through. And the Oilers, they've done the play right in front of him. Skinner has done his part in the most surprising look.
Yeah, I think everybody that they needed to, Alec, and that is why Edmonton is in the position that they are. You can look at some of the stats and say they don't look key. Well, it doesn't have to. You got to be able to get the job done. And this team's been locked in. This is the best we've ever seen them. We can definitely say that. This is a backhand pickup now for Dallas. It'll be fired in. Kulak holds it in. This goes back around now for Jamie Benn. One-handed on the left side of the glass. Sent back down. Holloway able to chip this one down. Connor McDavid will watch. We'll get back on the defensive end as Dallas try to take it right to left for the rest of the third. Gloved out of the air, Wyatt Johnston. Take a slap shot around the inboards. Alec, you take it away.
Yes, I'm going to have it back with 11 period as you get back into the action. 11 minutes to go. A bump and run by Kris around this goes to the near side. Bouchard fired it backwards. Over to the far corner, picked up by Tannen. Moved up front here, Cyrus Sagan. As Marshall limit on the 2-on-2. Marshall, curling drag. Marshall, high shot. The rebound goes right in front. Tapped in. Mason Marchman as Stuart Skinner tried to recover. And the Stars cut this deficit in half.
Nothing Skinner could do there. It was a flub puck. It bounced off the inboards. Mason Marchman right on the doorstep. Dallas needed life. They needed anything. We've been begging for it. And on their 30th shot on goal, they finally able to get one across the inboards. What a pass from
who's playing over to the right side and was caught out of position, trying to jump back across. Marshall was right there. The net got this watch as well. And the midst of it, that was after the goal as Marshall shoved away the goal crease here. So the Stars, they have some life.
They do now. And now let's see who's got the momentum. Edmonton's going to have to attack a little bit. Here comes Dallas.
Europa hits fired it wide. This one not out. Kept inside. A soccer Blocker play by Edmonton as they look to clear. Corey Perry away from Jason Robertson. This one tapped over around. Oilers backhand this one down deep over to the Dallas near corner. 10 of the first. Look at the far half boards. Top wing over comes one of the Oilers off the down star. Tanev has it, holding on to it, backpedaling, away from Connor McDavid, who made him look silly in that first period. Deep pass, this goes for Robertson, halfway for his bird. Maverick Porkin deep, poked away by Bouchard and Ekholm. Hyman also there. This goes over the near corner. Robertson has 7 shots tonight. The rest of the Oilers have 8. Trying to poke this one through. The Darnell is right there. He spins around, goes to Steele. Steele continues to look over on the near side. Around for the Darnell. Far corner, right circle, turnaround shot. Blocked away, and this goes down to center. Heiskanen swats this one by. Oilers walk back with this. Here's 97. Heiskanen right on him. And a little shove on Hyman. And this is Steele with this puck with 9:20. Deflected in deep. First one back there is Cody Ceci among the Oiler defense. Rushing in there is Logan Stagman trying to steal off the rush. The look Broberg with it. Marshman from on this goal. Here comes the Oilers trying to split it. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is possessed by Liddell. Right behind the creases goes behind Oettinger. 9 minutes to go. Connor Brown there. But there's a stick look at the way. Wyatt Johnson. Down goes Nugent-Hopkins. Off the stick. And he's going back onto his bench. Jamie Benn had this one deflected up. This one poked back in. Connor Brown to miss of it. Liddell got away from him. One poke. And Liddell keeps this. Moved up front. He's in. Off the flip. Onto right behind the crease. Onto Kleck. A whack it on all the way by Heiskanen. CC trying to move it out. It's held inside. Stagman. Curling drag. Kicked out by Skinner. On the 31st shot of the game for Dallas. Moved on around. Kept in by Dallas. This goes around. Looks to the face. Here's Johnson right behind. Looks. And a cross-ice pass in the right circle. Waits a minute. It's blocked on the move. Here's Johnson. It's Stagman. What a pump by Ryan McLeod. Did not get him a shot away. As the Stars have quadrupled the Oilers in shots with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Harley's deep shot blocked in front. 7:50. Forced on out. Here's Draisaitl waiting with it. To the left side it goes. Dylan Holloway just sends one off the blocker of Oettinger. He gets it right back, like Torres Hammer. The 9th shot of the game for Edmonton, as Harley has it. Heiskanen can't clear his McDavid on the hold. Right around this goes over to the far side, and Harley being chased from behind with 7:33. Several stickless by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Heiskanen's there to help him out. Moved up front this goes, and a stick it away end step. Hyman moves it through. Zach Hyman, high shot, kicked out by Oettinger. Comes back up for Hyman. A little stick it away by McDavid. Trying to hold this one through, and now it's down. Duchesne gets this in deep through the near corner. Mattias Ekholm away from the Darnell. For the far side, Nugent-Hopkins on the hold, double team. Duchesne just comes back out for a deep shot. Made his way over to Skinner. He makes his 31st save on a deep shot by Kyber Say. Will go to break with 7:04 left.
I think it was a good time that I handed it to you, Mr. Nava, because as soon as we've done that, the Dallas Stars have found their jet engines. It's taken here for Dallas to have the finally see the pressure and see the light to have to push, but they've done so now. Not only have they taken the shot board and started to balloon, as we talked about, this time they're ballooning it with good shots, traffic on front of the net, special rebounds, extra work against the boards. Where has this been all game?
It's an easy tap in, granted, but it's necessary for the Stars to get one back to have some life in here.
Yeah, it's been a good push now. We'll see if Stuart Skinner can hold on. Skinner, 31 of 32. We know Jake Oettinger is going to have to hold the fort here. He's 8 of 10. The penalties that the Oilers have taken, 3. Dallas didn't score on any of them, but they got one back off the end boards. Again, we'll go ahead and give you that reset. Mason Marchment, his 3rd of the playoffs from Sagan and Tanev at 9:18 of the 3rd. That was the latest goal. His 5th in the power play from Draisaitl and Bouchard, and Hyman on the power play at 15:42 of the 1st. So Dallas finally gets one, and they have 7:04 left in their season to try to tie this at dose.
And perhaps for course, a Game 7 back at Dallas as the Stars fans are under. There's a lot of sense of nerves here. If they falter, what changes need to be made in the offseason? What has to happen? But the most recent one that's seen from Stars fans about assistant coach Steve Spott.
That might be one. You think somebody's got to go. You think somebody probably dropped the ball if they don't get this done, because you and I talked about Vegas and Colorado, maybe Edmonton being the easiest matchup, and yet Edmonton had made them look like, for the most part, they weren't ready to play up until this last stretch of minutes. Can Dallas continue to fight? 7:02 left. You take it away.
All started off the face-up, and yeah, it seemed like the Oilers, they are the easiest matchup for the Stars. Oh, the Stars, they say take that and shove it down on your throats, as they call it with a reverse guard. Mishandled by Heiskanen. And you see those bad plays on the routine plays that are supposed to be made a bad hold attempt from Heiskanen. Got this puck out. Heiskanen cut off. Hits was there. Holloway also away. Third period shots 11-2 Dallas here as we walk along. Heiskanen backhands went over to Pavelski. Hits at the far corner. Tied up. Robertson poked right in front by the Oilers defense. This will go right down for the ice and ice with 6:31 to play.
The shot attempts in this third are 11-2, and the scoring chances are 7-0 Dallas. That's more like it, but they're going to need to get at least one more if we're going to be talking about 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday at American Airlines.
That is, if the Stars win, then that will prompt the team that's going to face the Florida Panthers to have less rest against a bouncing puck to the far side. They will get the changes this time as it's into the Dallas zone. Now on the neutral ice. Up for Johnson. Does he have a break? No, he doesn't. He defers to wait for help. Johnson spins around over to Harley. Near corner this goes. Harley, set up pass. Just missed. And Jake Oettinger will have to play this over at the bottom of the right circle his own end. Here's Esa Liddell now with 6:05. Sent across. This goes over to Tanev. Kris Tanev sends one up. Bouchard the first there at the near corner. Stoppage in play as this was played off a high stick.
5:59 left to go in the third period. Again, as we talked about, your reset 31-10 on the shot board. Again, we've seen this from Edmonton in the Vancouver series. You get a lead, try to hold, not go for many chances. You can't shell up here, but this is going to be a big time look on a kill. And you know what? We'll take a TV timeout to think about it.
That's what Dallas needs if they were to tie this game up. That's what they truly need, to be honest, if they were to go on out. Because they have shown up in the third period in every game of this series, but it's not a complete 60-minute effort. This has been this entire time. In the last 3 games, including this one, games 4, 5, and 6, they've basically been nowhere to be seen except for one specific period. Game 4, it was the first. This game in Game 5, it was the third period. You need to have a complete 60-minute effort, and don't reserve your best ones for just one period.
I'm glad you said it that way, Alec, because I feel bad when I'm the one that always has to take all the venom a little bit. But for Dallas, but I feel like I've been disappointed in them because you took that punch in between Vegas and Colorado. I mean, that Colorado game could have been devastating in Game 1, being up 3-0 and then losing 4-3. But you answered. You've not been able to answer. And there's been times, with the exception that the Oilers have been a little bit opportunistic, there's been times that the Oilers haven't had an answer with shots on goal, haven't had to do anything, and yet they've still beaten you. So I've wondered where this Dallas Stars team has been for the most part. I don't think they've been as consistent as they would have liked to have been. And I know we've talked about throughout the coverage, and we think the Stars might fall short of their ultimate goal. Right now, they still got 5:59 left in the third, but it looks like they might fall short.
More likely, Oilers playing ferocious defense at their own end, was you're seeing Corey Perry on the Edmonton bench. The Oilers, they've been locking down on the Stars, top to bottom, all game long, even though they don't have the majority of the shots on goal. Perry talking to one of the kids along the Oilers' crowd. He's meeting up with those kids. I think that's his kid.
I think it actually is too. 209 games in the postseason, 53 goals, 72 assists, 100 on the Oilers roster to win a Stanley Cup.
That was back in 2007 when he was with his good friend Ryan Getzlaff on the Anaheim Ducks, back when they had Chris Pronger and Scott Niedermayer leading the way. And a Brian John Sebastian Chenier. Lead pass, Jason Robertson whips it over to Skinner. He'll hold up as he sees Hunt hits approaching. That took 15 seconds until the first whistle after the stoppage.
And again, right on cue. And Corey Perry almost looks unrecognizable. It's been so many years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. 07 when the Ducks faced the Ottawa Senators in the first year after the Walt Disney Company sold the Ducks to the San Jose Pavelski. That's a big shot block. Here's Thomas Harley on the Hyman, who got a tip and a firmly towards his own goal. McDavid came it out. His bounce off to Hits. McDavid on the tie-up. Trying to stick this away from Hits, and his legs onto Hyman, who tried to get it out. A tie-up again. Just out of my doubt. No, it's out. It's Pavelski on the control. Harley's back in his own zone. Up Bouchard this goes. Robert go to far side. Sent inside by Tyler Seguin. Can't get it as Bouchard. Stick down the way. Ekholm may have iced this, and he did.
5:05 left to go thereabouts in this third. Connor McDavid's line got to stay out there again. 5:06 officially away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Connor McDavid trying to glove this one out of the air in front of Rope Hansen, glove it down with his hand. They don't let you do that, especially.
Yeah, it's either going to be a hand pass or closing the hand on the puck penalty as rare as it is. Brian Rust did that game too against the Islanders in 21, and he got penalized for closing the hand on the puck. The Penguins survived the 6-on-4 for the Islanders that year. 5 minutes to go here, and coming in comes Dallas. Right, Nugent-Hopkins is back over the near corner. On the tie-up, Mattias this loose puck. This goes behind the net. Now 37 in front. The one-timer got blocked away from Canada. Shane corrals it down. Far corner. Broberg sweeps it away. To the far side. Nugent-Hopkins sends it over to Connor Brown. A 2-on-2 rush. And one Brown's teammate goes for James. Corner. Sends it around for the boards. Opposite McLeod. Ryan McLeod closed off by Marchman. McLeod trying to break free. Can't do it. Went down on the way. Canada penny him. The lone Oiler is back there is Leon Draisaitl. Stars have it again. 4:15 to go here on the Stars season if they do not score. On the feed. Canada down deep. Can't get the pass up. This will land on the Skinner. Will leave behind. It's out behind the crease. This comes out from Perry. This bounces over. Might be an icing, and it is. 3:59 on the clock.
Starting to be a little bit too many of those for my liking for Edmonton because Dallas, Pavelski, Ben, Seguin, they have a really good unit of centermen that they can use to win key draws and get some chances. If you're Edmonton, clean up those icings a little bit.
Yeah, Moskvitz on their feet. The Oilers need to clean up and stop icing the puck because soon enough, if they do ice it again, they may get burned. Derek Salsa here. Ben and Draisaitl. It's Draisaitl on the face-off. Knoblauch right behind his crease. Far corner. Deflected out through at the Oiler blue line and picked back up by Edmonton. They'll flip at the left of the ice. It's a goal right by Oettinger. Harley thinking this one away. And we're going to stop it here. Play behind stick. 3:48 to go.
Alec, as the chants will continue to get louder. This is absolutely an insane look at Rogers right now. I mean, I've never seen them so alive. But again, we haven't seen a Canadian team at this point in a long time.
They got the orange pom-poms, and they're on their feet. A mix of orange jerseys and blue jerseys, but mostly the orange crush here. And I'm not talking about the Denver Broncos. 3:48 to go here in the third period. Bouncing puck comes over to Adam Henry, taps it out. Oilers playing defensive minded. Mostly for the rest of this period. Tackle inside by Hyman. First back there is Tannen, who finds Lindell quickly. Moved up front for bounces over wide of Skinner. And the last thing that Dallas needs is they get one against a free birdie.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to say, Alec, for some of the stuff that I'm seeing here. It's just routine passes, trying to find entries. And it's not like, again, Edmonton's had some good defensive stands when they needed it. But some of these passes, they're not even being pressured and they're making turnovers, Dallas.
And it's not even close to be coming into the zone there for Dallas if they want to get the entry. Draisaitl 7 of 18 on faceoffs. Johnston is 3 of 7. So McDavid sets up at the top of the left circle. Should this go over to him? It comes back to left point for Ekholm. He waits a bit. Shoots it around for DeBoer at the far side. Hyman tied up in the near corner by Tannen. Then McDavid shoved towards the wall once. Dispossessed. Here's Jamie Benn, the Stars captain. Feeds it over near side for Tannen. He waits a bit. That pass was blocked. This comes back over to Edmonton. And we get a stoppage here. 3 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. Draisaitl touchdown.
Get a hand pass there, whatever they're going to call. 3:12 left. We've got a bevy of whistles. Dallas needs to get this in the offensive end so they can entertain pulling Jake Oettinger. It's getting very close to that time with 3:12 left, down by a score of 2-1.
2:30 or 2 minutes. Do remember, Patrick Waugh led the groundwork for pulling goaltenders this early in his first year as a head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. It worked for the Avs in that first round series against the Minnesota Wild, and then the Wilds used it, and it went to their favor. Cleared it deep towards the Stars near corner. 3 minutes in the Stars season, they Draisaitl, give it a go. It's whipped by Nugent-Hopkins. So whatever says goes here between Dallas and Edmonton. Duchesne's in, moved off a skate. Nurse had to go right by it. CC's helping him. 2:45 to go. And all sorts of traffic right on center ice. Walk right down here is Dallas up in towards backwards. When is Oettinger going to go? That's what we wonder. Here's Heiskanen at the left side. Heiskanen starts this up. Fights around for the near boards. This goes to the far corner. Ekholm's the first there. Mattias Ekholm sandwiched towards the wall. Pavelski and Hintz are also there. Wide Johnson far side. This goes over to Heiskanen at the left point. Oettinger makes his way onto the bench. It's now 6 on 5. Desperation time. Truly settling in for Dallas. This goes right back. Take the Robertson. And a tight shot. By tight save from Stuart Skinner.
Right out on the left side post. Skinner was having none of that. Robertson's chance made it look a lot easier than right now for Dallas. Win an offensive draw, maintain puck possession, and honestly, Alec, you probably have 5 to 10 seconds to move this puck for a shot. But after that, you're going to need to start funneling shots when you get them toward the net. Get some rebounds. Maybe you're going to bounce off the boards again. Dallas needs 1.
Ever since we forcing a game 7 in set overtime. Best going to take the face off. He loses this. The Oilers can shoot this down the empty net. It's blocked up in the air. Deflected out onto the.
We will stay right where we are on the dot. 2:06 left in the third. Again, the only goal, Mason Marchment from Tyler's taking pass in off the boards of this. Still 2 power play goals for Edmonton in the first. It's a key defensive draw for Draisaitl.
That has been excellent on faceoffs so far in this game. He wins one with some help. This goes right around. Out in front. Shot wide with 2 minutes to go. That might have been best look at tying this one up for Dallas. 1:53 to go. Towards a sea of orange and blue. We can't even see where the puck is. It's at the near corner. This is what we know, but we don't know who has possession. It's this ferocious tie-up. Ekholm in the midst of it. Ben also there. It goes behind the crease. Ekholm poked around. This goes back to left point. Heiskanen on across. Top of the right circle. Robertson waits. Drop back. Heiskanen hits. Back for Heiskanen. One-timer. Stopped the side by Skinner. Edmonton trying to get the
Unbelievable. And all I'm thinking on the other end for Dallas is Miro Heiskanen. You got to get up. You got to go. The puck's not been iced. Anything happened. Everybody's surrounding Stuart Skinner. And then the first embrace we see is Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I am almost at a loss for words from what we've watched from Edmonton. How we've seen this team continue to grow throughout the postseason. I don't know if I could say juggernaut yet. And I don't know 5-10 on the shot board that was a masterful performance, but you know what? It was opportunistic. They got their power play in the first. That sealed the game, and that closed it off enough. Stuart Skinner did his Dallas. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board. I can't imagine that's going to feel very good.
It doesn't have to feel very, it really does not feel good for Dallas. Joe Pavelski, his Stanley Cup, and Ryan Suter's Stanley Cup did not take full advantage of it, but we said stars in 6. We didn't think this would be the amount of games that they would lose in the Western Conference Final. The Oilers, they're pumped. 10 shots on goal in total, the lowest that we have seen. It's the 12 shots on goal by the Vancouver Canucks against the Nashville Predators in Game 3 to win a game. That number has not been seen. It was the Penguins won 5-3 against the Nashville Predators in the Stanley Cup Final. McDavid and Pavelski on the handshake line, and we all have these surreal thoughts right around. Edmonton, what a masterful defensive performance in Game 6.
Yeah, they did what they needed to do. And again, you mentioned Stuart Skinner all night, and for good reason. He played his best game that I've seen him play. I know some of the chances have been on the outside, and he made the saves that he was supposed to save. Yes, he did. But you know what? Sometimes goalies don't do that. And at least for Stuart Skinner, for tonight, for all the stuff that he was supposed to do, he did everything he was supposed to do. And the Oilers played good defense around him, and they were able to get it done. Again, I know Ian mentioned this before about the Stars being a counterattack type team. Maybe that's the type of idea that I have to start using about the Oilers, because other than those 2 power plays, they had some chances and they had some danger looks when they held on to the puck. But that was it. It was the 2 power plays. That's what we saw. Now Corey Perry's got to shake hands with the opposite team that he battled with on this side. He's going to the Cup final. And guess what? We're going to have Monday off, Tuesday off, all the way across the board. It's not going to be until we'll see you guys again for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. We'll be at Amerant Bank Arena as the Florida Panthers are going to host the Edmonton Oilers.
Unbelievable that the Oilers, who were 2-9-1 exactly
Yes.
200 days ago, are going to the Stanley Cup Final as Tyler Seguin and racist Darnell Nurse. All sorts of emotions in Edmonton. They haven't felt this way since 2000. About the belief that Canadian hockey teams can deliver to an entire city. Not since the days of Alec Hemsky, Fernando Pisani, Sean Horkoff, that the Oilers have been back in this position, but this may be Canada's best shot of going so. We talked about all the teams that tried and failed to win Canada a Cup since 93 of Canadian hockey team heroes. 94 were the Canucks with Pavel Bure, Kirk McQuaid, Greg Adams. You speak of 2004, the Flames, Iginla, Jelena, Kiprusoff, Mission 06 Oilers, the 2011 Canucks with the Sedins, Burrows, Luongo, Kessler, Bielsa, and in 2020, Suzuki, Toffoli, Caulfield, Weber, and all the rest. But Canada, stand up now.
And it's interesting, Alec. I was going through the names and the teams that you mentioned, and I'm thinking elite goalie, elite goalie, elite goalie, and then on the other side we got Stuart Skinner. We
Not
do.
usually an elite goaltender, but he played like
He did.
He is prime Roberto Luongo in this.
He was opportunistic. He was big. I mean, that's the thing. You get your name on your cup, you got to be able to deserve it. And I mean, he's the first star of this game. You make no bones about it. He's the first star of this game. He helped win the game. He made a ton of saves. Again, you were opportunistic on one side. I don't want to make this a one-sided conversation because this is all about the Edmonton Oilers today. I know they're going to have their hands full on Saturday. They're not going to be thinking about that right now. They got a lot to celebrate for, and as they should, and they might even touch the trophy. Who knows? Because the Panthers did that last year. They didn't win it. I don't believe in superstitions, but you don't even know if you're going to get back to this point. But it's going to be tough on Saturday. But I do want to say this for Dallas. I feel like a ball's been dropped big time in this opportunity. Again, I said I wouldn't hold back. I don't know what was going on with the Stars in terms of, okay, you got Rope Hansen injured a little bit. Jason Robertson had a real strong game, but you didn't see a whole bunch of goal scoring. Miro Heiskanen was probably the best star. But you can't just have Tyler. Where was Matt Duchene? Where was some of the other guys that they brought in? I mean, if you're putting all this pressure on guys like Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven to carry you to a cup, that's not enough.
No, you have to have more firepower around. You have to have everyone showing up and around. That's not happening as they all huddle up. Are they touching it? McDavid, let's see. They're all posing for the picture. Not right now. The Panthers, they didn't touch it. Paul Maurice instructed Sasha Barkov not to touch the Prince of Wales trophy last year. He did it anyway. They lost the Stanley Cup final, but Sidney Crosby, he touched it all 3 times when he won the Stanley Cup. Alexander Ovechkin, he won the Stanley Cup. The Bruins didn't touch. They lost the Stanley Cup. The Bulls, they touched it all times under the current core, in which they went to the Stanley Cup final, winning it 2 out of 4 times. It seems like they're just posing for the picture. All companies members up there at the rafters to see the pictures are set. Oh, let's just say that you're focusing on the bigger prize ahead.
Yep.
They're not touching.
Nope. I think they made the right call there. Again, that's usually a team decision. I wouldn't blame them either way. But Connor McDavid knows what he wants. Same thing for Draisaitl. They definitely deserve where they are right now. I do want one last thing for Dallas. As far as this defensive core, everybody else, we know that this team is going to come back largely the same. I do wonder, although it's a different sport, but the Mavericks are in the final. I wonder if there's more pressure on the Dallas Mavericks now to at least go 1 out of 2 here, because I bet a lot of people expected the Dallas Stars to lift the thing or at least get to the final. Now it's going to be against the Mavericks and the Celtics. That's going to be a tough matchup too. So maybe the Rangers did their job and they got it all done, but I would feel bad if Dallas walks away with nothing here.
Yeah, it would feel bad if they came up empty-handed. This could be Dallas's best look at a championship if the Mavericks were to get it all. A strong defense ever since putting Derek Jones Jr. onto the starting 5, not to mention Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. And you have Derek Lively coming off the bench after he started for the majority of the season. You have a well-rounded lineup. You have a deep team around you. It would be a fool to say if Dallas doesn't make this competitive, then we may have lost ourselves a great opportunity at a competitive series.
Yeah, it's going to have to at least be that. Again, as you mentioned, for the Stars, it's going to be a good team. They will be back. My question is, if you're Dallas, how do you rotate that defense future? I think that needs to be addressed a little bit. I understand that Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven are going to get better, and they're not probably their offense. But I will say one last thing as well. For Peter DeBoer, I expect he's going to have to answer some tough questions. Game 6 record, not very good. Game 7 would have been undefeated if they would have got there. Again, I think it's a ball drop for Edmonton. It's house money to me. I know Canada, there's pressure to try to win a cup there. They're playing against the Florida Panthers. I'm not going to say Edmonton's just happy to be there. They're going to try to win it all. That's going to be a good matchup. I'm still going Florida, but I am beyond impressed with what I saw with Edmonton. Do not get it twisted. They got 12 wins. They're 4 away from the ultimate prize. They deserve to be there. They've gone through the gauntlet. Dallas had taken out all these other teams. They couldn't take out Edmonton. They showed you what they were made of. They answered the bell today.
Yeah, they're very much impressing everyone around the hockey. Establish themselves as a premier defensive team of a route. Best Stelter, they did it. They're just 4 wins away, man. Fly high.
Get the shout outs and all that stuff. Again, Alec, thank you for joining me here on this broadcast. We will catch up again later in the week. I might join you for game 1 of the NBA Finals, but I know you're going to be hosting all that stuff, depending on if I'm available. But I'll try not to phrase myself out too much. I know I'll have a preview show on Friday, one on Saturday. It should be a lot of fun. I think Cooper Hopkins will probably join us in. It might be a trio broadcast. We'll see either duo or trio, but we'll get everybody in. We'll get squared away, and we look forward to next week. Again, we gave our initial thoughts of what it's going to be, but I'm sure Alec will update you. I will as well. There's going to be a lot to do next week, and we'll have some NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll catch you later, my friend.
Catch you around, everyone.
Well, I'll tell you this, folks, as I get set to close it on the YouTube side, I just closed out with Alec, Nava, and podcast. When Cooper Hopkins joins in, because I know we'll do some 2s and 3s in the broadcast side for the Stanley Cup Finals, it's going to be a lot for to take in. We will do an objective broadcast, but I will tell you, and through the initial thoughts of the preview show, that there's going to be a lot to say in between Edmonton. Not all of it's going to be rosy. If they don't win the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't think I'm going to be sad. I'm impressed about, but there's a lot to do. I still think Florida is going to find a way to get this done. It'll be 3 out of 4 series in which I don't pick the Edmonton Oilers, but they've earned their right to be here, just like Montreal did a few seasons ago. And it's going to be Florida and Edmonton. That's going to start at Emirates Bank Arena on Saturday night. So we hope we see you then. We think that's going to be about 8:15 Eastern, probably about 8 Eastern start time. I'll be on just a little bit after, and we'll talk soon. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.